I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Flippy?
Oh, can't complain. I've been kind of catching up on this tournament here for the past few hours. Catching these, the last of the bracket here. Just watched D13 actually went out over Lin Vision 2-0 on Train and Inferno. It was a 16-14, 21-19. Very close games. Very exciting to watch. But the story I really want to focus on is the fact that these two teams met in the upper bracket final. And it was a 2-1 where BTRG ended up coming out on top, obviously, coming from the upper bracket. But the first pick we have in this series is Train, where in their last series they met, D13 took that map 16-5. So this could be an interesting first pick. And I'm excited to see how this forms out. And after that, we're going to be heading over to Nuke, which was the last map of the last series these players met, where BTRG ended up pulling it out 16-7, accurate in that match, dropping 31 kills with 11 deaths, 110 ADR, and a 1.97 rating. So it could be absolutely a very close game for both teams. Overall, though, it's been a crazy tournament. We're going to be keeping an eye on Zygen and Excurate over on the side of BTRG. They're both right around a 1.25 rating from the last matchup these two teams had. And score rate, topping it out over there for D13, 1.31 and 1.0. So they're kind of a bigger difference, but still very high ratings for both teams. And I'm excited to catch this action. What's your prediction coming out for this?
I'm not sure, to be honest. It is going to be a close match. I mean, we do have Dust 2 as the third map, which we didn't go really into. BTRG doesn't really have any statistics for Dust 2 that I can see. And D13, they have only played 3 maps and 67% win rate. So they've won 2 of the 3 maps. So they've got a little bit more experience, I'd say, as a team playing at higher levels on Dust 2 than BTRG. So they could be able to sneak this out, but it isn't going to be an easy game for either team.
Definitely. They're both going to have to give it their all, but some of the things like 4 players on each team having a rating right around 1.0 in the event, and the one that's just barely falling below, they're still up at like a 0.85 rating, so it's not bad in any sense right now. So it could be absolutely a phenomenal game, really. And we are seeing those picks, those bans come through, and it's going to be interesting, to say the least, that 2 of the maps from the last series are the ones that we're starting out with tonight. So we are just still waiting on everybody to load into the server. We got about half the people in there at the moment. Hope everybody...
I feel like the map picks are more comfort picks rather than anything else for these two teams, because of that last series where they did play each other. They both played those maps. They know they can win those maps, and it's not going to be too difficult. You know, the score lines for both of those, 16-12 for Inferno and 16-7 for Nuke and 16-5 for Train. So both of them pretty much ran away with their map picks. So we could see that again for the first 2 maps. But because they've played together so recently, you have to factor in the counter strats. They would have studied each other on these maps, expecting that this could have come out had D13 made it to this match, and which they did. So they may have prepared for Lin Vision to actually come through to this match. So we're not sure how BTRG prepared for this map, but each map could swing either way quite quickly, quite easily.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, that's just the nature of Counter-Strike, especially in this 2020 online environment where nothing's really guaranteed. And we've seen a lot of upsets just in online play because we don't have those players that just come out and dominate on LAN anymore.
Yeah.
We don't really get the option.
To fight the ping.
Yep. So we see who can really put together a team in a new environment. And 2020 has kind of shown us all kinds of upsets of people that can only perform online and can only perform on LAN. Like, it's been a bit of a wild ride this year for Counter-Strike.
It absolutely has. I haven't actually really seen too much of the 2020 CS. It's been all over the place for me personally, but it, from what I have seen, it has been pretty wild. You think one game is going to be easy, and then it just flips upside down its head. So it's extremely difficult to predict any matches this year, and some teams who were on top are now coming down towards the bottom because they just can't keep a consistent stage online.
Oh, definitely. And kind of looking at some of the rankings in the region as well, if it'll actually load for me correctly. It's nothing really of comment that I can really spot out off the top of my head. Neither of these teams really ranked in their region, except D13 actually the top in Mongolia at the moment, but not really too much data to go off of in the region. And BTRG not really being loaded incorrectly on HLTV currently, so it's kind of hard to pull anything about them.
Yeah, it's one of those regions that is coming out more into the mainstream scene, but it's still got its own smaller scene, which it's much harder to get those statistics for us. And you could do hours of research and still only find 2 games total. It can be a little bit annoying trying to find out where these teams have been and where they've come from, but it's nice to see more teams like this coming to the bigger stage and coming to the forefront up on HLTV, where everyone else is actually going to be starting to pay a little bit more attention.
Oh, definitely. I did end up finding some results. Going back to June, really, for BTRG, where they lost out in ESL Pro League, finishing out 5th and 6th. Got a 2-0 loss to Beyond, phenomenal team, and then a 2-0 by Invictus as well the day before that. So coming into this, it looks like they've been on a bit of a break. Hopefully they can come back, guns swinging, guns blazing, and just show the region that they deserve to have that phenomenal upper bracket run where they only dropped one map because this was just a 4-team bracket coming into this. So it's going to be a phenomenal game outcoming tonight. Earlier in the bracket, we did see Lin Vision starting in the lower bracket against Tai Lu, where they beat them out 2-0, sending Tai Lu home early in 4th place. And then Lin Vision immediately falling after to D13, 2 maps to none, as I talked about earlier. And now D13 is back in the grand final.
Yeah, it's fairly surprising hearing that Tai Lu got taken out by Lin Vision. You don't hear Lin Vision up there too often. Tai Lu is one of those big teams who has made their stand in the scene, but recently you haven't really heard too much else from them, and they've sort of started to taper off a little bit. They've had a high point now, falling back, but it's a little bit disappointing to see. But it's also the way the scene works, and now new teams like Lin Vision, BTRG, and D13 have to take that place and make their spot, make their name known.
Exactly, and it could have been as well a focus for Tai Lu, not really caring too much about this matchup as they are currently scheduled in for Pro League Season 12 of the Asia region, which starts up later this month. So I don't want to say throw, but it could have just been they're not too focused on this.
I wouldn't say throw, and I don't feel like it would be a lack of focus, to be honest. It could be, but at the same time, if I was Tai Lu, I would have been using this tournament and this series as a warm up, as an exercise to be able to take into Pro League and say, hey, we've won this. We're not something to be messed around with. We're going to come in. We're going to win Pro League or whatever else. It's better practice than sitting there scrimming, because it's a real tournament. Everyone's high pressure rather than just having fun in a scrim.
Definitely, but even looking back to that game, like we saw Tai Lu take map 1 16-8, and then it was just a wipe coming out from Lin Vision 16-4 on Mirage and 16-8 on Vertigo. So it was almost like Tyloo maybe just had a bad day as well. Very high possibility.
It could absolutely just be that.
Because,
Sometimes
like
you
we
wake
said,
up.
CS Online 2020, you can't always depend on your internet.
Yeah, so sometimes you just wake up and that's how it is. Sometimes it's not really something you can control. It's just a matter of how it happens, unfortunately.
It definitely is. But once again, kind of looking down from this last series where these two teams played each other, one of the big rivalries that is standing out for me, at least, is Score and Eeyore. So Score killing Eeyore 17 times in their last matchup. Eeyore only able to get that return onto him 7 times within 3 maps. So that could be an interesting kind of a face-off to look at. They might have a little bit of bad blood now. A little bit of BM could come out in here. And it seems like this is just going to be a real good game. I apologize for cutting you off.
No, it's all right. It absolutely could be. I mean, it could also has that mental factor behind it. Like Score and Eeyore, you could absolutely just have that thing like, oh, he's killed me again. You know, put yourself on tilt just from that one thing because the matches have just gone that way previously and you haven't been able to take him down. Or it could be an easy counter strat for D13 just to send him where Eeyore's going if Eeyore's popping off, because he's unable to get him that many times. You know, it's one of those mind games that you don't think about too much when you're sitting on the other end, but it's something that everyone sort of pays attention to a little bit when they're actually in the game.
Oh, definitely. You kind of know, even though I don't get to play much just because of a injury I'm currently dealing with, you can still tell when somebody kind of has that tilt going on, that it kind of messes with their mind a little bit. Not quite able to hit your shots, not quite able to focus up. Sometimes it even gets to the point where you're missing smokes. You're playing wildly out of position. And that could just be rough for anyone.
It's just one of those mental states you never want to hit. You know, you want to just find that groove. Once you hit that groove in the map, just try to stay in it. You lose it a little bit. You get slightly annoyed and you fall off. You need to stay calm, relaxed, and focused. Unless you're one of those players, I know there are a few players where when they're angry or they're upset, they play much, much better. For the most part, you need to stay calm and focused.
Definitely. And we're kind of looking at some of the heat maps here for the matchup from earlier on Train, where once again D13 did take it 16-5. Look out for a lot of aggression coming from Pop Dog, playing towards that E-Box area as well, the T-Main area, and then a lot of action over towards Ivy as well. A lot of kills coming out from those locations. And that could absolutely be what carries D13 through this map. And it does look like we actually have 10 players in the server now, so hopefully getting started very soon.
We have 10 players and 1 team ready.
Okay.
So we will go to a very, very short break. We will be back momentarily as soon as we head into the pistol round.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back in the action, and I am very large in charge out here. And game is getting started very soon. Once again, nothing guaranteed in Counter-Strike, but we're hanging out, having a good time. Mr. You and me over here.
Always a good time out here on CappingTV.
Oh,
we did have one player disconnect from the server for a moment, so they're probably dealing with a little bit of a technical issue, but we should be on the way momentarily.
We are obviously waiting at the moment on the Chinese official broadcast for this tournament to catch up. It does look like they will be starting soon, though, so hopefully, no promises, but hopefully we can get started soon as well. It does look like in the game chat, though, there's some people with like 50% loss at the moment, so we could be having issues. It is one of the BTRG players who are kind of I don't want to say favorites, but they are coming from that upper bracket. And it's weird to me. One thing I just kind of noticed.
Only BTRG who has loss.
One thing I've just noticed is that this is a double elimination tournament. And this grand final is not a best of 5 with a 1 map advantage. That's something I have seen a lot of TOs doing lately. Especially for that double elimination upper bracket runs. Like, it's, I don't want to say bad, but it's different that they're not following that kind of almost standardized format now.
Yeah, personally, I don't like the 1 map advantage best of 5s. It sort of takes away a lot of the competition feel for it for the most part. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing a full 6 maps between teams. I mean, it can be a little bit exhausting on teams. Or
6 maps.
A better. I mean, you know, if you had a proper double elimination, you'd have 2 best of 3s to determine the winner. You know, rather than having a best of 5 and a 1 map advantage, or even just a normal best of 5 with no map advantage. I'd rather see a full commitment and a full game rather than one team having an advantage. I understand the advantage point of view, but it does make games sometimes extremely one-sided because it just takes away any chance for the lower bracket team to come back in some situations.
So we have lost connection to server. Server has completely died.
I believe that would be an attempt to fix the loss issues for one of the teams.
Possibly. They could be moving the server to a new location or a new box in the same location. Trying to fix these connection issues that Impression was having.
The server is back online. It is loading into the cracked map. So we might be on the same server. It just might be a restart to attempt to refresh everything to get it to function again properly. And be fair for both teams. You can't have one team on excessive ping or loss or anything like that, because it just ruins the integrity of the game, which is what I was hinting at with the best of 5 1 map advantage thing. But it's That's the way it is, and a lot of teams, a lot of people do like it that way. That's just not personal preference of me.
No, yeah, I've definitely heard it from teams. I've heard opinions go both ways as well about the one map advantage going into a best of 5. But my personal opinion is I want to see a team that has a deep map pool, that has a mastery of the game as a whole. And to me, a best of 3 doesn't really show that.
Yeah, no,
Like, it
absolutely
does
not.
show that you can beat a team on at least 2 maps, but it doesn't show mastery of the game, which is what
That's
I look
the.
for going into like a grand final.
I mean, that's the same point that you get to with the one map advantage in the best of 5s. You only have to win 2 maps if you come from the upper bracket. You don't have that full challenge or mastery, as you were stating, that you have to present or show that you have over the game and over the other team to be able to win the tournament. It's still back essentially down to that best of 3 scenario where you only need those 2 maps, and it's not too hard to run away with 2 maps or just get extremely lucky in one map and make a single play which turns the entire game on its head.
Yeah, and at that point, it's like one team's playing a best of 3, and one is playing a best of 5.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is, unless they win the first map, and then it's down back to that best of 3 scenario. But
Yep.
it's still sort of, it's I understand that you need to have the map advantage for fairness of one team not dropping any maps, but at the
Yep.
same time, it's still unfair.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I can definitely see your point. And it's one of those things that we could sit here and argue about it all the time, but unless we start organizing our own tournaments, we just live with it.
Yeah, pretty much. So it looks like D13 is ready. We're still waiting on BTRG, who have had a little bit of the connection issues. They're not stating that anything's happening at the moment, so we could be loading in. I'm excited to see that happen. I'm excited to see this match.
I'm excited to see this game. Definitely some notable names in here over on the side of, well, both teams, really. Shinobi been an absolute powerhouse. Score been an absolute powerhouse. And we see Excurate, Impression, Zygen, people that have showed up in majors. And I'm just glad I get the opportunity to even be here, honestly. Thank you once again to CappingTV for allowing me to come yell at some pixels here for a couple hours.
Yelling at pixels, that's our life. But
It really is.
I feel like we should go to a break for 2 minutes as BTRG. No breaks. We're not allowed to go to a breaks. BTRG, they're sitting here. They're going to be testing their packet loss to see how it goes, and we'll move forwards momentarily after that. But we have 2 minutes at most to blabble on for you guys.
Babble on, we will.
We shall.
It looks like, yep,
It's number
they are
one
still
ability
testing
that
it.
costs an ease.
What was that?
The number one ability that costs an ease, just to talk without any reason to talk.
I mean, that's just kind of part of being human sometimes as well. You just
I don't
gotta
have
kind
that
of
ability.
sometimes
Help.
just run your mouth and
Help.
just live with it. Live with the consequences.
Well, it looks like we might actually just be going. One of the players from BTRG just called to start and ready up for the game.
It does look like, oh, nope, we do have the 5th player back in now, right at that moment, so. Nope, they do have all their coaches and players in the server, observers in the server as well. Well, might not be observer, might be just an admin, kind of taking a look at things. Because tonight we do have. Okay, I have been confirmed that it is an admin also in the server, not an observer. Everybody likes a good observer, though. So one thing that is of note is that recent coach bug has been now patched out. So we do not have that capability for them to do that shenanigans anymore. It is going to be a much more fair fight.
I didn't actually see anything to do with the coach bug. I heard about it, but I didn't actually read into it, to be honest. And we do have the knife round going, so...
Are you going to Rap God? You got the Rap God?
Who gets to start on which side?
Yeah, it looks more like you and me over here on Live God. It's going to be Impression IO, losing Impression, and Zygen cleaning it up. BTRG losing 1 on the knife round. And it does look like they are going over to that CT side. BTRG here against D13. Once this match restarts, we got 1 restart, and we are now going live. It's about to be a good time. We got some good Counter-Strike pumping out of our brains now. Going to be able to see that buy, that little light buy, 2 smokes, a Molotov, 2 flashes, and a decoy on the side of D13. Smoke etiquette, armor across the board here. Gonna start out with an interesting smoke coming out here from Tamir. I believe that's heading over towards Ivy and bounces off the skybox, lands right on target as well. A beautiful smoke coming out as this A bomb site take is going to be coming out very rapidly. And Execute and Rate getting the first 2 kills. Zygen and Eeyore. Eeyore just opening things up here.
Trade back for the CT side, and they've already come back into the site, taking it out and won the first round. And it looks like it might be in pause immediately. Both teams experiencing some packet loss.
And yes, they are saying they think it's the server once again. So, as always, online CS, we're going to have a lot of issues coming out as both teams looking at that. But due to the fact that there was a lot of damage done, I do not believe we will be able to really restart this game or redo that round at this point.
It looks like both teams are experiencing it. It's extremely unfortunate, but in the case that both teams are experiencing it, sort of balances itself out, but it's still extremely annoying and can escalate that tilt factor that anybody could start to feel just from playing the game normally to something on a whole new level, because it's nothing that you can really control at that point.
Oh, definitely. And we are fast play here. Ivy not going to spot anything, but 3 players stacked up here.
3 players at Ivy, but there's only 2 to hold this back. Zygen's up close with his MP9. Impression there with his Famous does take a little bit of damage through smoke, but I don't think they know Zygen's going to be sitting here. The nade comes through. He does fall back, so he has made a little bit of space. This terrorist on the other side of smoke down in Ivy. A little bit of afraid. And it looks like D13 want to go for another A play. They don't have the fast smokes they did last time. Playing it a little bit slower, and they do have an AK out, which is not something you see too commonly, second round AK buy, as you don't have those helmets and you just get immediately one-tapped by the M4s, which normally wouldn't be a problem.
Oh, definitely, but now it's looking more like they want to take this B split. First point of contact going to be Zygen over here, possibly towards Ivy. MP9 close range could absolutely queue these terrorists up as they go flying across. And it's actually going to be Impression opening it up. And then Zygen with a quick double sprayed out of his MP9. And Bomb already made its way onto the B side as well. It's going to be Tamir to take it down on the site. And Annihilation taking down Loser.
Loser does get taken down, but he does put Annihilation down to 7 HP. It's a 3v2 retake. Annihilation gets a 42 tag onto Zygen. Maria does find Eeyore just barely though, almost whipping that spray a little bit. One player coming up from heaven does take him down. Now it's down to the 1v1, XCC versus Annihilation. XCC has an idea of where Annihilation could be. He does find him, takes him down, and doesn't actually have enough time for the defuse, so D13 will be taking out this round. Unfortunately, XCC didn't have a kit.
And it does look like BTRG try to pull that pause back as well, trying to figure out their lag situation. I can only imagine what these players are going through, and we're seeing a bit of issue here in the GoTV as well. Players just kind of, there we go. As now it does look like we're going to try and get the admin in here and try and figure things out. Not quite sure what's going on. We've kind of seen it on the GoTV, a little bit of stutter here and there. Couldn't tell if that was just on my end, but when I did look over towards the Chinese stream, they are seeing it as well, so it could just be a full-on GoTV issue.
Yeah,
and
could
right
be.
now looks like it's Loser who is actually, sometimes people changing their Steam names and whatnot kind of confuses me, because I'm trying to keep up and call people, their proper name. I believe that's Genius. Yep. And they just
it confuses me a little bit.
They break my brain.
I've got to that point where I just
You've gotten
read
to
the
that
name
point
on
where your
screen.
mic starts lagging again.
It's the disappointment, man.
Are we talking about the game or your mic? Because I mean,
Me.
the server issues are kind of a disappointment as well. But
my mic is a little bit more of a disappointment. Am I good now? Am I
yes,
okay?
you are good now.
I don't remember what I was saying, which is unfortunate. Oh, I have gone to just reading the names on the screen. They change the names too much, and it gets a little bit crazy sometimes trying to figure out who's who, especially when a lot of the players in the game haven't actually. I mean, they don't have their names, and everyone's using a different name. It's hard to figure out which player is which half of the time.
Yep, definitely. It gets weird. So a lot of times, if I do mess up and call Genius Loser, please forgive me. Don't burn me at the stake, because I'm just reading what's on screen. Excurate, currently going by the name of XCC in the server, so I might say that as well. I might mess that one up.
Yep. I'm going to say XCC. That's in front of my face.
Very, very well. It's looking like some shenanigans happening in the chat, and the freeze time now being canceled. We are going to get back in. And it looks like they want to try and figure out some of their issues. Trying to... Kind of playing around with some of the server settings. They want to try and throw some smokes and try and get out there, but it looks like D13 wanting to actually play this round out. No, they are just kind of all meeting out here in the middle of outer. All right, it does look like we've lost my co-caster for the day, or at least a few moments, so I'm going to take this and roll with it. Just like we're trying to roll to this match, and admin's looking to not be too responsive here in this issue that they're having. Sorry, words are hard. And the players I can definitely see getting frustrated in the game chat at some of this. I know it's not shown on stream, but finally admin's coming out saying something. They're just asking if D13 is good. And without confirmation from BTRG, this could be a bit of a one-sided affair. We are tied at 1-1 here at the very beginning of map 1. And it does look like it's when that bomb execute comes out with the smoke, it's causing packet loss somehow. So maybe it's not just a smoke they're throwing, it could be a DDoS as well. I'm kidding, obviously, for legal reasons.
So we are still sitting here. Sorry, I did lose all connection for a moment there.
That seems to happen a lot. I think instead of just the game server having issues, my fellow caster having a few issues as well.
I've
Some of
joined the
these
club.
players,
It's a game server and me.
yep. Next thing you know, this computer virus is going to migrate its way over to NA, and I'm going to get it. But right now, I'm golden. Like everything's beautiful on my end.
The south of the equator is where it's all happening.
Yep, there's just something weird. I think you plugged your Ethernet cable in upside down.
No, it's because we're all upside down, man. The
I can
internet just
definitely see
doesn't know
that.
where to go.
Your IPs get reversed and flipped, and things just get weird.
Yep.
They are trying still to get a hold of the admin, trying to get them to troubleshoot the issue. I don't want to say fix the issue because there are some server-side issues that just cannot be fixed when a game is live, especially ones with like these heavy packet loss. But some of the players are only reporting like 1 to 2%. Others are reporting as high as 60 when that execute comes out onto a bomb site, which is definitely a concern. But typically 1 to 5% isn't something the players go to get too bent out of shape about. But I could definitely see why them bringing up a 60. I could agree with them bringing up a packet loss that high.
Yeah,
Because
60% is insane. I mean, 1 to 2% is actually still a significant amount, especially in a game like CS. You sit there and I've experienced 1 to 2% myself, and it's not fun. Even just trying to shoot or move becomes extremely difficult as soon as you hit 1%. You know, you go up to 50, and it's impossible to even fathom what's happening in the game because there's just nothing there. You may as well not
exactly,
be
you are
connected to
so
the
far.
server.
Yep, you may as well be playing with a remote desktop through a VPN in another continent. I mean, that's basically where we're at right now. We're just kind of sitting here like, hey, this is our life today. I have succumbed to the fact that this will be a game of delays thus far. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to live with it.
Yeah, we're looking at the Chinese stream right now. The casters hands together. They're saying everything's okay, and we just it's the nature of CS online tournaments. You can't really do too much about it. It happens. It happens on lands, and it happens at home. There's not really too much else you can do about it.
Definitely. Sorry, I need to not look at this because I'm going to get distracted. Okay, so we are changing the server, it appears like. Admin did just now respond. They say, we'll change server wait mins. So we don't know how many mins that we are talking about. So hopefully it's going to be the same GoTV that we're on currently now. And we get to sit here and just wait on it to change. But, I mean, there's not too much I can say at this point. It's one of those games, one of those days.
It is absolutely one of those days, and looks like I'm having a little bit of trouble with my webcam. So unfortunately for you guys, you can't see my obnoxious face in front of you. You just have to look at Flippy.
I mean, that's all they want to say anyway. I'm the one that they really want to see anyways. Does it really matter? Like, come on, look at
Oh
this
yeah,
face.
absolutely.
I'm adorable. Oh wait, hang on. We're doing some shenanigans here. We're doing some production magic happening. Here we go. Let's see what goes
I'm
on.
hearing what's happening, and I am disappointed in my producer.
I am happy with my producer.
I'm waiting for it to
Welcome.
appear on stream.
See, I can't even see stream at the moment because that monitor is that way.
Oh.
That I have
Oh,
CappingTV
things just
pulled up on.
happened.
Oh God.
Oh.
What are you doing to me? What is my producer doing to me?
I am severely concerned. As to what is happening.
I'm very concerned as well. There's a lot of things that are concerning me in life, but
Oh, that looks much better, but it's still. Why? Oh, he did more. He did more.
Oh gosh, there's a lot happening in life right now. I don't know what's going on.
Why?
I just
What
kind
are you
of poke a
doing?
look over at stream every now and then, and
I don't exist because my camera is broken. I have become an ego. I don't know what is
I mean,
happening.
there's worse things you could be. You could be a producer and observer.
I could be a producer. You know, the one sitting here making issues on stream. That's what's happening. He's being a bad boy today.
Look happier. I'm trying to be told something. Oh, very interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm having someone yell in my ear.
I'm severely concerned for both of us.
Oh yeah, the concern is it's mutual.
I don't know if this was the best use of my time tonight.
Honestly, I wasn't doing anything anyways.
I wasn't doing anything either, but I mean, I'm not sure that's still the best use of my time. I could be watching a movie right now.
Is it the worst use of your time though?
It's absolutely the worst of my time.
Is it really the worst experience of your life right now?
It's the worst use of my time right now. Yes.
No, it is not. Because there's much worse things you could be doing in life right about now.
Well, my camera is now going to be different, and my producer is going to hate me for it. But my producer can.
I think your producer hates you anyways.
Well, I have a webcam. It works, and my producer can be upset about it.
I mean, so it does look like apparently the GoTV is having issues currently. The one that I do have, it is loaded into Dust 2, and World Peace is the only one currently loaded in. So possibly he's still trying to configure everything. We're trying to figure out what's going on here. Because at this point, even we're clueless, our producer's clueless. I think the admins are clueless.
I may or may not be sitting here playing with my camera, annoying the producer. I'm trying to.
You're being actually yelled at right now, and
I am.
Voice
service. He's upset about me.
We're getting abused. I come here as a volunteer, and this is the kind of treatment I get. I want to talk to a manager. Okay, and you know what I get told? I get to cast with an e-girl. Like, that's going to fix everything in my life.
What do you mean? E-girls are the best.
I'm not going down. I am not going down that road. You know, it is no simp September. I am holding up to that. So, yes.
Fair enough. Alright, well, I'm gonna ask my producer what we are doing right now because I have no idea.
Alright, while these two argue, I'm going to go ahead and shout out CappingTV. Make sure you check him out on Twitter. Follow him here on Twitch if you're hanging out in the chat. And if you're really feeling great and you have that Twitch Prime, go ahead, drop it on the channel as well. It supports everybody here.
Don't do that.
Except
That's a bad
this
idea.
guy over to my left on screen right now. We do see his lovely face
I'm on
again.
your right. I'm on your right, not your left.
No,
your left if in
no,
person.
Yeah,
Your
on
the
my
left of your
in
face,
person.
but the right of the screen.
Yeah, left of my, yeah. Like I look left to see you as well in real life.
What is happening?
I don't know what's happening anymore. This is just this has been the summary of 2020 for me, just like what is happening anymore. One thing that I will not miss about 2020 is 2020. You know, I had all these goals set for 2020, and then 2020 happened, and now I'm like, yeah, those plans are, I don't want to say impossible, but very difficult. Because there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through now to do really anything.
Mitch has just made me like a ghost, or he did at one point, a ghost in front of the eagle. I'm very concerned.
I mean, that's the world we live in now. You're allowed to be an e-girl
I'm just
if
a
you want to
ghost.
be an e-girl.
I'm just a disembodied voice in the background. That's what I am.
Hey, that's fine. I've talked with worse things. I mean, heck, I've talked to myself, which is probably 10 times worse.
It's the first sign of going crazy, according to most people.
So I do see chat asking what's going on with the GoTV. I don't think it's just the GoTV that's broken at this point in time. I do believe it's just everything about this server is just dying right now. It's going to take a while to troubleshoot, find out the issue, find out if they need to put a server in a new location real quick. But we have been on a break for a while in this match, currently tied up 1-1. Once again, it is BTRG versus D13. And nothing really has happened. 1-1 in map 1. Train. But match might get fully reset as well. Can't guarantee anything. And nothing coming through from the admins either as far as anything in the console or in the chat logs that I can see.
Yeah, it's really just a waiting game right now. We have to wait for a new GoTV or to find out what's happening. And we just have to wait. It's up to the admin team over here to suss that out and report back to us. We have nothing else that we can really
Shout
do.
out to the admins, though. I've had this happen in the middle of a LAN, and it was one of those, somehow I was on LAN and people were getting 80% loss. 80%!
One of those Ethernet cords is broken.
That's actually what it ended up being. Someone had rolled a chair somehow, even though we had cable protectors over nearly everything. What they had done was leaned a chair all the way back, just, messing around. They didn't intentionally do this, and they rolled over one of the fiber cables and severed it.
Yep.
Under the desk.
Fair enough.
And if you know anything, fiber is not cheap.
No.
So we had to, I was slightly annoyed about that.
It's not easy to fix either.
No, luckily because I think we had 80 computers at that LAN. So 80 network connections over fiber. I think I had probably 40 extra fibers that I could run. So it was a simple drop a new one in the channel and everything. But it was just the fact that I had to do that annoyed me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's
So do you just need me to smile and wave, look over at the other my co-caster Eagle here and just nod at her?
This stream has gone from 0 to 100 creepy really quickly. I don't know what's happening, and I want it to stop.
This is the kind of stuff we were doing before game. Oh, my camera is now out of focus. I apologize for that. I look bad right now. There we go. Greetings. We're being yelled at by our producer. This is turning into a meme stream. I don't know what went south in my life that caused me to end up here, but this is some shenanigans.
This is a typical CappingTV broadcast when things just stop functioning.
No, this is just what I've seen from. This seems like 95% of podcasts I've seen from Asia games in the Counter-Strike scene is just straight memes. And I have me an e-girl now that's back. You know, this woman is actually very beautiful.
Yeah, I've reminded our producer of an event that he wants to die remembering. And yeah. he well I'm waiting for my producer to give me any usable information about this match and what we're doing right now. Other than
we are hanging out. Sounds about right. Does anybody know what they're doing anymore? Like, it's just one of those nights.
This is one of those days, man.
So in other news, since we are kind of looking into this, let's see if there's any other events that could be relevant to what's going on. Especially, I want to see if I don't think there's anything going on in the Asia region at the moment, really. Aside from this, we do have the FunSpark Ulti qualifier actually coming up later this season or later this month, going into the beginning of October. Not sure what teams are going to be playing in on that. So make sure to stop in, say hi. If we do end up covering it here on CappingTV, follow our Twitter, and you'll get all the announcements of everything we are able to cover. Because different people let different people cover. And it does look like thus far for the actual FunSpark tournament, Tyloo already securing that invite as well. So excited to see them in the tournament as well, securing invites of Furia, Chaos coming out of NA, Forza, and Havu out of EU. That's going to be a good tournament, actually. So that's interesting as well, because those teams are from all over the world. So is that going to be a LAN?
What's going to be LAN?
How are they going? FunSpark Ulti. They have teams from the Asia region. They have teams from NA, Brazil, and now Tyloo as well. And they're running a qualifier very soon, actually. So I'm kind of confused for that. That could be interesting if they're going to be able to pull out a LAN here in 2020. Very, very interesting. But it does look like that actual event's going to be towards the beginning of December this year. $300,000 prize pool. Location still TBA. And I'm hearing an oh no from my producer, which does not sound like a good time for anybody. Hopefully he can tell me there is some kind of issue. It does look like players are...
I heard the greatest words that I've ever heard. Let's go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back soon, potentially. while we figure out what is happening, so you don't have to listen to us waffle and make weird noises and videos and stuff. So we will see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are going to be going right back into this gameplay here very rapidly. Currently tied 1-1. I still don't have a feed of the game at this very second. I'm going to try and get it as quickly as possible so I can bring you all of the action here as we are heading into round 3. And it's
I am looking for that feed as well.
Apparently, it's in my DMs, which I have not yet seen. And hopefully, they can get this sorted out quickly. But BTRG picking up 2 rounds in the process. It is now currently 3-1. Economical situation not coming out too strong here. But they are able to actually buy around that. And it actually is the full buy coming out from both teams. Very low on economy over on this side. Well, I'm actually on a very strong delay now because I'm trying to watch a feed of a feed. And that's just no bueno for anybody at this point in time.
Yep, I have found my way into the match. So I can start casting. We're ready. We're going.
Please, thank you.
So we have 5 players alive. Round number 5. BTRG 3-1 lead over D13. And BTRG did win last time these two teams faced off, so it's not too much of a surprise. But Eeyore, he will be able to clean up Rate, just saving his teammate barely. Tamaria will be able to take down Eeyore. There is another player up close. Annihilation takes down one, and Tamaria is able to take down Impression as well. So Loser's down. Now it's up to Excurate. He gets taken down as well. Ziggin, last player left alive. Ooh, he takes 25 HP Molotov damage. And it is a 1v4 retake. He has to come in. He gets 1 kill. Gets the 2nd kill. He notices there's a 3rd player there. He does get the 3rd player as well. Now it's down to Mario. Last player alive. Ziggin versus him. Ziggin only has 24 HP though. Molotov goes down onto the bomb. That's going to waste so much time and stop the defuse from coming in because Ziggin doesn't actually have a kit. But Tamario is going to peek. Ziggin has a chance to take his head off. But he will just fall back, tries to run away. Oh! No, he doesn't get the kill. Drops to Mario down to 10 HP. And Ziggin unable to clutch the round. But that was a lot of damage done by him onto the D13 side.
A lot of damage it was. But the economy still favoring BTRG, though, as they are able to at least get back into this round. The only issue possibly being that CZ on the side of Genius. And game name, once again, going by Loser today. And a fast play here coming out towards the Pop Dog area. That's going to be Tamir taking that control of the area, immediately falling back off, though, and actually putting the CZ all alone towards B site. Possibly a good play as Zygen going to open things up there over towards Ivy onto Rate. Nice little spray down off that M4.
That's not what D13 needs right here. XCC is going to be peeking up towards Annihilation. He doesn't actually get any. He doesn't get any information there. Tamir does get taken down by Eeyore, who is dropped down to 10 HP. So a single nade could clip him and take him out of the match. But XCC still holding this upper angle. Does manage to take down Annihilation. Loser sitting up close, watching, making sure nobody comes down the ramp, but it is heading in towards the A site. Shinobi takes down one player. Does care about having it. Does hear a player up there. Takes down Impression. Ziggin's over here, very, very close. Could actually be a nuisance here, but Shinobi has an idea. He does peek out, gets a perfect headshot straight onto Ziggin. And now it's down to a 2v2. Loser's coming in from the backside. It finds an M4 to play with himself. Shinobi still being extremely aggressive, pushing up behind, takes down XCC, has to reload. Loser has a little bit of a chance to play with, but he does get out onto the site. Shinobi's not expecting him to be out already, and he does walk straight into the crosshair of Loser, getting taken down. And BTRG with round number 4.
Absolutely insane, though. Man comes out, gets 4 kills, and is just unable to close it out there at the end, as now they're looking into this hero AK with no utility to help support it. It's just 4 deagles across the board. This could be a bit of a rough one here for D13, but it's actually Shinobi with that AK opening it up, but traded back very quickly. BTRG grabbing 2 in return. It's just been a wild ride, as now we have Eeyore pushed up into TCOM, but losing his life very quickly to Tamir, bringing it back into the 3 versus 3. What is going on here in the Brown Halls Loser has pushed his way up, and Annihilation is out upper. So this could be a very easy kill, and he is going to land that headshot with the Deagle. I don't know how that ended up that way, and now XCC getting some shenanigans going on his way as well. It's going to be Tamir left in the 1 versus 2, but both players' positions not quite known as Zygen. Coming up behind him, landing that headshot with the MP9 a little bit long range. Going to bring the 5th in the favor of BTRG. Heading here into round 8.
Heading into round number 8, as you stated, it's not looking good for D13. Just down to really an eco. Only one Deagle pulled out. The one thing I'm going to mention right here, I don't like is people buying down just to match the teammate's economy. It can ruin your economy heavily. It takes away the utility or weaponry that you could be able to potentially buy in future rounds. And I absolutely hate it with a passion. But Shinobi, he does get 1 kill with the Deagle. If he gets more, I'll say it's worth it. Oh, that snap! That flick rips the head off Eeyore. Absolutely demolishes him. And XCC gets taken down as well. Shinobi, he buys this Deagle and he's putting it to work. Rate will just be able to take down Loser. Almost whiffs that a little bit. Ziggin coming in from the back line, so Annihilation has his back to him. Shinobi misses 2 shots with the Deagle. Tamir and Rate, last 2 players left alive for D13. Ziggin does have a kit, a little bit of room to work with. Is on the site, going to try and just ninja defuse this. And he succeeds.
What? And gets the AWP!
They let him get away with that. I'm also surprised that it didn't stop his defuse with the new update that stops you when you turn too far sideways. But he turned slow enough that it didn't disconnect his defuse, which was nice.
It wasn't it's the speed of the defuse that matters, or the spin, not the amount. So if he would have turned it too fast, he definitely could have been kicked off that bomb. But
a little bit faster, and it would have taken him down. It would have stopped the defuse, and it would have potentially caused him a disastrous state. You know, having to reconnect that defuse, they absolutely would have known that he's sticking it. And
definitely,
yeah.
Apparently, there is some loss coming over the GoTV. The admins are saying in server.
So we do have to just hang out for a minute while the admins solve the issue. And then we can return to the matchup. BTRG in the lead, 6-2. I believe this is actually going to give the teams time to talk about what they want to be doing. You know,
as well as yeah, I mean, online you can't really enforce the normal tech pause issues like you can on LAN, because a lot of times they do restrict communication between teams during these tech pauses.
I've always considered like how that would work. I feel like there would be an admin in their respective communications. You know, they'd have to have an admin in the chats. You know, regardless. You know, they need a record of the voice comms for any admin situations that may arise later in the tournament or whatever else. You know, so I feel like there should be an admin in there, and they may not be allowed to talk. But if there is no admin there, the teams would absolutely be talking and strategizing right now. You know,
exactly.
Or even in technical pauses where you can't talk, just the time to think is absolutely
just that time
precious.
to kind of take a breath, breathe out, stretch your arms out real quick, stretch your legs, grab some water. That's what I'm doing now. It's absolutely one of the benefits of having these tech pauses is being able to just kind of take a mental reset. Even if you're not communicating with your team, you can kind of think about what you've already done in the match, think about what they've done to counter what you've done and how you can counter that. And you can just kind of start thinking things through a little more. It gives you that extra moment, because you can watch as many demos as you want. You can watch 5,000 demos of your opponent. But they could completely change everything once they get in server for this game. And one X-Curate having a VPN issue now. So he has now disconnected from the server.
Oh,
But let's go ahead.
I'm
I did
surprised that
see him.
I'm surprised that
Go
you
ahead.
can play on a VPN. I've tried that before, and it is quite difficult to do.
It is difficult, but it also depends on where your VPN is, where you are in relation to that, and where the server is in relation to the VPN. So sometimes they can work, sometimes they can't, and sometimes you absolutely need a VPN to do certain things.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
while we have a bit of pause time, looking at some of the stats so far for this match, we're looking at Zygen sitting on top of the match here at 14-4, and Xcure has joined the wrong team as we are back in the server now.
Admin's asking if we're ready, but he's not on the right team. The D13, yeah, 6v4. The players have
Zygen
caught
making
onto
the
it.
joke about a 6v4 going on, and Xcure not able to quite join the wrong team. Interesting. He has now joined the correct team. And coming back to the scoreboard a little bit, looking at Zygen's performance, 14 kills so far, 50% headshots, 169 ADR going his way. Not a whole lot of utility going out this game, except for Shinobi. Currently 15 enemies flashed. And we're 8 rounds in.
That is a very nice stat, but I don't know how that stat exactly works. It could be partial flash, it could be full flash. You know, if it's a full flash stat, then
so I've actually looked into this one. This is something I kind of know. So you know how there's, I believe it's 4 like stages of being flashed. Like you kind of have the full flash, and then as you turn away, it goes different. It counts everything except basically straight behind. So
okay, so if there's any
like
sort of flash
stage 2,
effect,
stage 3. Yep.
Okay.
But even when you're fully behind, it turns your screen white for like, it's partial white for like a very short amount of time. And it doesn't count that one.
Fair enough. So anything that really actually causes a proper effect is counted.
Exactly.
That's impressive,
even,
you know.
What you'll see a player do is throw a flash and peek as it pops, because he knows that player can hear it and he's going to turn away to not get blinded.
Oh, loser! Tamir actually made a lot of noise when he went past loser. He didn't check up on top of the train. Impression though, from Connector, will be able to take down 2 players and score. Last player left alive. He brought him up before against Eeyore, and he does get 1 kill, but he is taken down by XCC from behind with the AWP. And BTRG, even though they've been the majority of the players who have had these technical issues, they've overcome them, haven't fallen into a bad mental state, and are just sitting on top of the world with this map. And I wouldn't expect that to change heading into the next one, though they did lose, as we mentioned in the pre-game, against D13 on, I don't actually remember what map we're going to be honest.
It was Train. It was Train that D13 beat out BTRG.
Yeah, I was mentioning next map.
Next map. My apologies.
Next map is Train. So D13, we need to see whether they can hold their mental state, you know. This map, they're losing quite convincingly here at the moment. I mean, when Zigan, hits shots like that, taking down players, it's not going to feel very good, and they need to make sure that they don't fall into that poor mental state or get any sort of tilt heading into the next map. Take that time between maps to actually reset. And D13, they are going to be rushing into this B side altogether. No flashes, no nades, nothing. Sitting behind smoke as soon as it fades, pushes out, but 2 players gets taken down. Annihilation gets taken down as well, and Rate, last player left alive, coming in through CT spawn now. I don't think BTRG are going to be ready for this at all.
Definitely doesn't look like they are prepped, but now Xcure has the idea of what could be going on, but just a little late on that rotation. Just the timing favoring Rate here as he's going to land that first one.
I think Rate heard something down there because XCC has the AWP, so I may have heard him scope, but he does take him down. Ziggin, last player left alive, is up here on the top of B halls. He just has to sit back at this moment. He has full control over the bomb. When Rate tries to get this, Rate's going to be running. He can hear everything. He needs to get this bomb and go to plant now. He does get sprayed down by Ziggin, and he's done a lot of damage, but not quite enough to be able to take that round out.
I could argue that he's done pretty significant damage because the economy not super strong. On the side of BTRG, you can see a couple of their players sacrificing that defuse kit, and some even having to sacrifice head armor.
They haven't actually really been able to hold their economy either this game. You know, D13 have been doing a lot of damage for the most part in most rounds. You know, you have a look at it, any round after round 4, they've only survived with from round 4 onwards, 3 or less players every single round.
Score! Fully blinded, hits the no-scope over at Ivy. And immediately just falls back, and Altamir absolutely following up on that, but now Extra could have a couple things to say. He could have more. He's not done. But now he has a Shinobi. Oh, I wish we had instant replay for that no-scope right now, because... My lord.
That's a little dig at our producer there, for those who are watching. But that no-scope was insane, and XCC returning the favor, taking down a player through the smoke just as well as Shinobi did. Or Score did, sorry.
And now we just see BTRG relegated down to these upgraded pistols, just some chest armor. Don't really need to waste the money on the head armor. They didn't even have money to really get the head armor either. So it makes sense that they didn't get it, but against AK, it doesn't matter anyways. And a lot of information hunting here. Zygen pushed up into Ivy, strong position. Not something that's usually cleared out, but he's going to have no contact as the execute comes out onto the B site. 3 players here for BTRG with just CZs, 2 of them, and 1 Deagle to try and hold it down, and actually one of them putting work in.
Ooh.
Not quite able to find anything else yet. Is now in the 4 versus 3. Impression finally getting taken down.
Concerned about Annihilation with that Molotov. Not sure where he was trying to throw it to, but Eeyore, he is somewhat close sitting here with the Deagle. He is spotted out. Oh, Shinobi absolutely demolishes him. And Ziggin coming in from behind, down in the bottom of the ladder room. He is just sneaking up the ladder. He does actually change his mind about going up. He does hear players running around. He's concerned that somebody's coming through the A site around behind him, or he might just be trying to find a downed weapon, but I don't actually see any across the map, so at the moment he's just hunting, hoping somebody comes his way, rather than pushing towards them. And D13, they're going to play it safe. They're all going to exit into CT spawn together and not give anything away, not give anything to chance. And unfortunately for Ziggin, he loses 1 point of armor damage. He can't even buy a helmet into the next round, even if he wanted to, because that is way, way too expensive for the economic state that BTRG is in. And it's just going to be pretty much a full save, except for that armor and CZ saved over.
Yep, it is just a couple flashbangs, USPs across the board. Absolutely what they need to do at this point. They are going to be getting a bit of a loss bonus, as they are now on 2,400. Both teams actually on that $2,400 loss bonus, so not quite the max, not quite what you want, but they are going to be able to at least buy a good bit of utility possibly coming into the next round. But this round is definitely going to be D13 picking up their 5th, as now Shinobi has gotten 4 in the round, but Extra pulling one back before Tamir and Rate finally finish off the round, sending us into these last couple rounds here of the first half. And you see a strong performance here coming out from Shinobi's 109 ADR currently, 53% headshots. He's gotten a 4K, 2 3Ks, and man's on fire. What can you say?
Man's on fire indeed. And as I say that, some fire goes out in towards A main. And the bomb is going to be left up in bathrooms. Tamir spraying through a smoke. I'm not sure if he caught a foot through the edge of the smoke or something. Just a little bit of a gap there. Oh, Loser able to get a player down through smoke as well. Through the edge of one. And that is some good plays there. Oh, Impression spotting out a foot through the smoke. Everyone's shooting through smoke, shooting around the edge of the smoke. This round, and now it's down to a 4v2. D13 have won 3 rounds in a row. They need to take this round to stay, more competitive in this half. Try to bring it to that 8-7, but it looks like it could just be going towards the 9-6. Shinobi, well, he does get spotted out first, but he does trade back equal damage. Ziggin walking out, does spot out Shinobi, takes him down, and Score, last player left alive, loses his head, loses the AWP, and BTRG taking the half. 9-5 so far. One more round.
But the economy, look at this. We are in the last round of the half, and Annihilation was still on 12K and some change.
I'm actually fairly surprised by that. Only 3 round victories, and he has $12,000. That's not something you see too often, but it can happen. And surviving that many times, teams surviving as well, not having to buy each other up. To me, it looks like he's going to be putting a Molotov down outside of the ladder room. Gives himself some room to play with. You don't actually see that Molotov too often, but I do.
Oh, really, the nades in the window! The double nade in through window from Execute and Impression are going to take him down. I love those little cheeky nade plays sometimes. They make me so happy.
It's not something you see often. You don't see that Molotov often, and you see that nade play even less.
Exactly. The nades or the Molotov to stop them from coming directly down into Pop Dog. And then the double nade, because they're going to be standing up there waiting to come down. Just a beautiful play there for BTRG. Does give them the man advantage now, even after that little kerfuffle going on in Pop Dog there where Eeyore gets taken down in that process.
XCC gets the first kill. Smoke goes down. Very deep on him. He could push through, push around it. Impression shooting just over the top of that smoke. Gets a headshot. Loser here is going to take down Shinobi on the cross. 10-5. Taking the half. Semi-convincingly. Towards the end of it sort of fell off, but you look at Ziggin, he's on 20 kills just in that half alone.
20 kills. Half of those being headshot kills as well. 127 ADR for this man, and still Shinobi though. His utility usage thus far, just flashbangs, as he's nearing 30. What? 30? Almost 30 flashes in 15 rounds of Counter-Strike is a little shenanigans here.
What is happening?
There are some shenanigans going on. A lot of pausing, team swapping. It's getting a little bit confusing here in server. All right, we are going to run to a quick break here as the server tries to get everything figured out. And we'll be right back.
Hang on. The CTs are spawned in the T spawn. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing it this time. You can be quiet for a minute. And we are heading back into the second half of this matchup between BTRG and D13. We have sorted out the technical issues. And, they are running straight into Shinobi. He does get taken down immediately. And BTRG are wasting absolutely no time getting through here.
No time, but they are wasting their lives as just getting taken down, but Impression and Loser there closing it out. Very convincing win there for BTRG in that first round of the second half. And we're going right back into a tech pause. This could be definitely an interesting game, as there have been issues since the very beginning with the server. And it's just been left, right, and center issues tonight on the server side. Apparently, server host has bad internet today, is what they are saying in the game chat currently. So hopefully they're working their hardest to figure that out and not just giving an excuse.
Yeah, hopefully, but we'll see how it plays out. One player has left the server again. We will see them return momentarily. But how do you feel the second half's going to play out? You know, Train being somewhat more CT sided. We don't even have D13 being able to buy in this third round of the half as they did force up second round, I do believe. So we just have to see what happens. Oh, actually, no, it is second round. Sorry, it looks like they are going to be forcing up this round, so they won't really be able to buy next round. But how do you feel it's going to play out for D13?
I feel like BTRG really looked at that last demo they played where they got beat 16-5 on Train by D13 and have really started to be able to counter it, especially on their CT side. We saw that absolute shutdown, 10-5 half in favor of BTRG. And now looking like a little bit of issue trying to figure everything out as well as this tech timeout is now continuing. It did look like it wanted to go back to live game for a moment.
Score did a lot of work in that last best of 3. Especially on Train for D13, he got 26 kills, 11 deaths. He was the top fragger on the entire server. Annihilation stepped up as well, being the second fragger on the entire server. And BTRG, they didn't really show up for the most part. You know, Zigan was the only player on that team who went positive. The last time they versed on Train, D13 taking it 16-5. And they started on the CT side, so they do have what looks to be a really good CT side as they won that 13-2 at half. So we could see a huge comeback from them here, but if BTRG lets anything go from this point, I feel like D13 could just bring it back.
Oh, definitely, but already Eeyore spotting out that rotating Annihilation and going to just spray his head down with that MAC-10. Close range, that's exactly what it lives for, and then Zygen getting another one. Tamir left on 3 HP, and he's actually in an interesting position here. He's got 2 players behind him, 3 in front of him, Eeyore looking at him, and going to be BTRG looking very poised to just run away with this momentum they have here in the second half already.
Yeah, once you get that momentum, you don't want to let it go. You let it go, and it gives your team just that little bit of breathing space that they need to come back into the match, and that is something you want to avoid at all costs.
Definitely, we are getting a little bit of a ping spike once again here on the GoTV, but hopefully it's just temporary. Nothing too...
Hopefully it's just for us and not the game as well.
Yes, we've had enough issues with this game tonight. Games like this are why I have issues sleeping at night.
You know what makes me have issues sleeping at night?
Being alive?
Yeah, that, but also quad overtimes.
Why would you say that?
Because my CS just crashed, so it's all up to you from here, my dude.
Alright, the nature of Australian computers, I guess. They just crash left, right, and center.
They're the same as your computers.
Apparently not, because mine has 0 issues. Also not having an issue in this round is BTRG, as they are taking this round, making it 13-5 here on Train, as that last little headshot coming out from Impression, a nice little clean one through the edge of the floor in the heaven position, and now we see the double op setup actually coming out for D13. 3 M4s off the back of it as well, and sticking to these MAC-10s as well, trying to really build their economy. I like what BTRG are doing here, because these 3 players with the MAC-10s, the lowest one in terms of money is 4,500, so they definitely will still have a very viable income going into the next round, even if they are unable to secure the win, take it to that 14th round, one step closer to match point. And working against the double up setup. One of them over in the back lane, the other poised in Z, looking towards that B ramp. As now a lot of control coming out for both teams. They're all just kind of playing pretty passively, not trying to poke too much. Don't want to poke the bear. As now Impression opening things up, immediately traded out by Score with a nice little headshot, but creeping his way out of upper Eeyore. Might catch Rate, but no, he's going to tuck back in and let Annihilation cover that angle for him and get that kill, as well as now Zygen poking his way up, but Shinobi shutting him down. It's down to the 2 versus 4 here. And this could be D13's story of a comeback now, is flashing out in the lower ramp. They haven't yet cleared Rate's position. He's going to wait for the plant. Now Rate opening up, able to find one, but nice little headshot coming out there for Excurate. Annihilation going to poke his toes with that AWP. Low HP. Easy kill.
Why is he poking toes? That doesn't sound very sanitary.
I mean, poking toes with an AWP, though, that's about as sanitary as you can get. That's a very accurate weapon.
But now we are on round number 20. 4 rounds into the second half. And D13 haven't really done too much other than win that last round. You know, it was still close. So we need them to take this here to sort of keep their dream alive. Otherwise, their economy is really going to be not looking that great.
And that's one thing they've kind of struggled with all game. Even in the rounds they do win, they were losing so many players over on their T side that they could not get a good foothold in their economy. Just keep having to buy up every round, and it was rough. It was a rough time. That's not what you want ever in life, is to have to buy every round. And we're getting the stack drop here, going down into Pop Dog. I love seeing that. I don't care how overused it is. But what's not overused is that HE grenade coming out from Tamir, doing a lot of damage onto those 2 players.
A lot of damage, but they do go back up, and it looks like they may be leaning towards the B site. You have Ziggin even rotating back from Ivy. He's going to be setting up a smoke towards this A site, so that's going to try and bait out that it will be A. He's probably going to be rushing in, but actually no, they are going to put all of their utility towards the B site. That smoke coming out from the A side, I'm not sure where that actually landed, but Annihilation with Rate able to take down Loser, and that actually stalls to push out. Actually no. Sorry, I am corrected. They've actually made it onto the site, and no more actual contention. That's the word I'm looking for, coming out from D13.
And that first kill on the defense, Excurate. Eeyore, though, very close. He's going to pick up 2. Impression, stealing that 3rd away from him. And BTRG just looking to really secure this map, try to do it in style, especially with this abysmal economy here for D13. Their highest player sitting on 4,400, and they're forcing into this. This is do or die time here for BTRG. They absolutely need this round to have a chance at anything later in the nade. Taking Rate down to 66 immediately. A lot of information poking here, trying to find anything they can on the side of D13. We have Tamir pushed up in T-Con with the MP9, going to get taken down though by Excurate. And the smoke to hold off any push here, potentially towards the B site.
It is very, very slow, quiet, and relaxed at the moment for both of these teams. It's getting it a little bit more tense. Shinobi pushes up, gets a little bit of information. Rate going to be picking out the CT side, overextending a little bit. They're getting impatient, waiting for BTRG to push in. They have no information, and it looks like the gamble stacking towards the B side a little bit. 2 players over there, 2 players in Ivy, or not Ivy, sorry, in the ladder room, falling back and great, pushing up with his MP9 does do a lot of damage, but gets taken down, and now it's just up to Annihilation to sort of hold off this B site. And unfortunately for him, he gets taken down. Shinobi gets a trade back though, and Score pushing up extremely close, does get one with that MP9. XCC, the next player in line, will be able to take down Shinobi, and XCC will be able to take down Score as well. No, he doesn't. Ziggin from behind takes down Score, and BTRG on map point.
Just a reminder, this is map 1 of 3. After this, we are going to be heading over towards Nuke, which last time these teams met each other was a pretty convincing victory going the way of BTRG, and it is their map pick once again. Well, last time it was the decider, so. And ooh, the shotgun. The shotgun on rate. This could be dope.
Comes out.
Yep.
Does a little bit of work, but is it going to be enough?
It does actually potentially net them an AK if he can find it in the smoke. He does end up getting it.
Nobody
Moving
knows
that
what they're
from the
doing.
equation.
They seem to have ditched the shotgun back up on the ramp. Nobody wants to be taking that. Not even bring it over towards Annihilation or another weapon over there. It is just going to live there. 2 players playing extremely aggressive up towards the B site, so they do have a lot of information saying there's going to be going towards A. They just need to dig in, hold the ground, and not let BTRG take this away. It is still a 4v4, though BTRG absolutely has the weaponry advantage.
And Tamir could have a nice angle here coming onto Impression, and Zygen actually opening things up over in Ivy. Giving himself a second Impression, expecting that as well, and now Score stepping up but not able to close it out as Excurate finishes him off. And that's going to be BTRG taking the first map 16-6, and very convincing on that. Kind of looking at some of the scores as well. Zygen 27-9, absolutely phenomenal game coming out from him. 51% of those being headshots, 115 ADR. And in 22 rounds of Counter-Strike, as I've said before, Shinobi showing some great prowess with his flashbang usage, getting 29 enemies blinded. And it was the complete opposite of what we saw last time. And it could have been that choice of side that BTRG had, starting on that CT side, that just gave them that advantage, gave them that map. And we are getting ready, hopefully, to head into Nuke very quickly, which is BTRG's map pick. Last time was a massive victory for them.
Yeah, absolutely a massive victory. As you said, it was 16-7, so that's not a standard scoreline that you see too often. But heading into Nuke, I'm gonna have a look at the stats really quickly. And Excurate and Impression, Excurate actually popped off. He went 31-11, whereas Eeyore actually only went 11-13. So he didn't really show up on that last matchup, but I don't actually feel like we've seen him too much tonight either, to be honest.
Excurate has always kind of, from what I've seen him play at, he's never been a huge, like, standout player, carrying the rounds, killing every enemy, but he does his job and he does it well. What he needs to do, he gets it done. If that means he has to clutch a 1v4, he's going to clutch a 1v4. If that means he needs to throw one key smoke in around to get one of his other players in position, he can absolutely do that as well. He's just such a good fundamental CS player, knows what needs to be done, and he just does it. No questions asked.
Well, we could potentially see a repeat if BTRG gets to start on their CT side, which is what they started on last time, and starting on that CT side gave them a 10-round advantage going into the second half. And, well, that's what happened this time, actually. They had the 10-5 half. in their advantage and took it out quite cleanly, bringing the score down to 15 or 16-6. And last time it was 16-7 when they got that half on Nuke. So we could see a similar matchup tonight.
We definitely could. We are actually getting the map swapped over now, hopefully with a little less issue than we did there at the beginning of that train map. Hopefully. I use that word very liberally.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. Nuke, little bit of a tighter map, so we could see these SMG plays really take charge here, as it's a lot of both bomb sites inside. So these SMGs could definitely be able to turn things around, give rounds where they shouldn't be against rifles and full buys, and it's just going to be a great map coming up here after we take a short little break. Make sure to drop a follow here on CappingTV. If you haven't yet, check us out on Twitter as well, and we'll be seeing y'all very soon.
Is this the real life? 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 Is this the real life?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm stealing this one away back again
All
from
right.
you and me. I'm welcoming everybody back, so welcome back. We are just waiting on all these
No,
players
no,
to
I'm
connect.
welcoming everyone back. Welcome back.
You need to welcome your ice cream to your mouth, okay? That's all you need to worry about right now.
No, no, that's not. It's not how this works. All right. I am the boss.
That's exactly how this
All right.
works.
No, I'm the boss. You just need to sit there and look pretty with your fancy haircut. You know.
My fancy haircut, I think it looks kind of dumb, honestly. I'm required to have it by work, though. Nature of the beast.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Hopefully, hopefully I'm done with this sooner rather than later.
We have an interesting matchup before us today. D13 versus BTRG. And at the moment, we're just chilling in the warm-up phase while everybody joins the server and readies up. So we shouldn't be too much longer before we go live. But how do you feel this is going to be playing out since you since we've seen the last map and since we have a little bit of information on how these teams have performed playing each other before? Do you think BTRG is going to be doing a steamroll here over D13, or is D13 going to be making this close?
I feel like D13, it's going to take a lot, especially depending on who picks what side. But based on what I've seen from BTRG, thumbing through some of their demos, their past matches on Nuke, and it could absolutely be a steamroll. But if D13 has done their research, figured out how to counter some of the plays that BTRG like to throw out on their T side, there's definitely ways that they could be countered, and it could be absolutely devastating and a heartbreak for BTRG. A complete opposite flip of what we saw or what was played earlier in this bracket, where BTRG won out by a massive 9-round differential.
Yeah, I could absolutely see it if BTRG takes the knife round. BTRG running away with this today.
Oh, definitely. And that's what it's really going to come down to is sides. One interesting thing about this tournament is that there are knife rounds even with map picks. Because typically when you see a team pick a side or pick a map, the other team gets choice of first side. So for there still to be, I don't know if the knife round over a train was just a formality either. It could have just been, hey, it's coded into their config. So they just play it out, but it's more or less the knife round is just because they don't want to rewrite their config.
No, I don't believe that would be it, because even if that was so, you'd see the players just killing themselves in spawn. They're just killing console, and that would be it. That's usually what happens in that situation. So I believe that it is a real knife round.
Yeah, definitely. But once again, one of those things, we can't do much of it here on the, I almost said on the casting desk, but we're thousands of miles away.
There is a desk in front of both of us, and we are both casting.
But it's not a single casting desk, so I guess just desks.
Yep.
On the casting desks.
Oh.
See, I don't like things that have the letter S in them because I have a list. So it makes life difficult.
It's hard enough to say desks without a lisp, so I feel your pain.
Oh, okay. We also are feeling the pain of 10 players being in server and not readied up.
No, there's 9 players. Unless one person's on the wrong team.
One person did just drop out, but there were 10 players in.
So we're just waiting for everyone to get into the right teams, into the game, and we can get this bowl of shenanigans on the road.
Hopefully we have the players like, hey, go, let's go. Are we ready? Let's go. See, even the players are getting a little tired of all these pauses, and with good reason, especially after the way that train started taking, it was probably delayed about 40 minutes from the scheduled start time, and now just waiting for an admin to launch the game. Okay, so we are waiting for the official TO's stream to kind of catch up and start their show, and players now readied up, waiting for admin.
Yep.
That's
Just have
nature
to
of the
chill.
beast.
Yep. Nature of how it goes. So just gonna chill here, watch some heads get popped off, and maybe put some music on, let you guys chill for a minute, and return. Oh wait, never mind.
Wait. We
As
have a
I
knife
say
round.
that, we're going to the knife round. So we will get to see this game play out in all of its beautiful glory, and find out who the
Rap
victor
God, go.
will be.
You got
No,
the rap god this
no,
time.
we're not doing the rap god.
Rap god.
My mouth doesn't work. I'm sorry.
All right. It's because you're weak.
It's because
And
I'm
your
eating ice
bloodline is
cream.
weak. All right, so jumping right into this knife round, it's going to be Annihilation taking first, Annihilation taking second. Loser able to trade it back out. Impression grabbing one of his own. Tamir and Rate actually grabbing one as well. Eeyore Rate closing it out in favor of D13. Now I got thrown on the desk here very quickly for Rap God actually knife round. Ow. And actually, D13 taking this CT side. So as predicted, they could start to run away with this.
No, it was BTRG who were expecting to potentially run away with it. But we could see D13 make this much, much more competitive, as they do have the CT side.
What they are making actually is another tech pause.
Yeah, that is true. Somebody's having issues with their VPN again.
So I know this is called WDNMD, Asia Invitational. Can we start just calling this the Tech Pause Invitational? Like, if there's someone I can petition to officially change the name.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure if we can do that, but we could try.
I mean, I could just go on Twitter and start adding everybody I can think of. I'll even throw ESL on there for the mix just to see what they have to say about it. Nah, I'm kidding.
I mean, we'd have to rename ASL the Tech Pause Capital of the World with the majors and everything when we get 2-hour tech pauses.
Those are the greatest time of my life. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love 2-hour tech pauses. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bash them. I actually love them, man.
Because, I mean, you get to kind of just hang out and have a conversation, really, with your co-casters. We can even sit here and talk to chat if they have anything they would like to know about what's going on in the world of Counter-Strike. I'm not going to say the world as a whole, because
I
there's
don't
a
even
lot
know
of
what's happening
things
in the
that
world, man.
not everybody gets to see, because people have lives. They miss out on a lot of things, like some of the recent stuff with the coach bug. Some people still haven't really heard too much about that, and it could get interesting when you start talking about things like that and people are just like, wait, what?
Yeah,
So chat,
I
if
mean,
there's
it's
anything you
something
want
I
to know
didn't hear
about the
about.
state of Counter-Strike, what tournaments are going on currently, players to look out for coming up in the future, feel free. Like, we got nothing but time today. We got some BTRG fans out here rooting their team on, wanting them to go 2-0. As still tech calls. What?
We got some
Okay.
nice graphics going on in game. You get to have a tour around the map.
Yes, the Twitch tour is going on. Yep. So the bans that happened with the Dead and Hunden. Well, this is not the. This is. That one I do not directly want to talk about because that one is a little bit controversial. But it comes down to if you know about an exploit and you don't say something and you abuse it, regardless of what it is, that's just bad sportsmanship. And that's what it comes down to. Bad sportsmanship, whether that's exploits, match fixing, it all deserves some type of punishment. Whether that's you can't compete in certain events, you can't compete at all if it's that severe. Like if a man started hacking in game, like straight up aimbot, I am one who says yes, lifetime. Boom, you're done. That's my opinion, not the opinion of CappingTV. That is the opinion of Flippy Bits. But things get a little different when you get into straight like bugs and exploits that aren't designed directly to be full-on malicious, but they are used in a malicious manner. It gets a little, the lines get blurred there. But it does look like we're getting to start this match. We are seeing armor and a little bit of utility here on the side of BTRG. And just armor, one defuse kit and a smoke here coming out for a D13 who won that knife. I'm going to be able to start on their CT side. And some early aggression here and playing out towards outside. Not going to be able to connect though. As poised over towards this trophy room are 4 players here for BTRG. And that's everybody but Impression at this point, as he's just going to hang out outside. The aggression comes into ramp, and Rate going to have to fall off very quickly down to that B-bomb site. And as the shots start ringing out, he's going to be taken down. Shinobi able to trade one back from that decon room. But Zygen swinging in fast, landing the bullet into his brain. It's going to be the 2v4 retake here on pistol round for D13. One smoke in the defuse kit to work with. Annihilation just getting the timing there as well. Just barely able to land that first headshot as well.
He does get that kill, but there is a player coming in through behind him, that Zygen. He does spot one out, gets the kill. Annihilation is found through the smoke, taken down, and BTRG with round number 1. Even though they are on the T side, we saw them dominate on their CT side previously. So we could see it on their T side, but it's unknown right now.
Especially with Nuke being so heavily CT favored, it's nice when you can open up a map like that, especially that T-side pistol, so crucial to the rest of the half as a terrorist. Can make or break, especially the mindset, which is one of the most important facets of being in a game of Counter-Strike, is being able to just sit back, analyze a situation, win, especially if you do or don't have the advantage. And taking a pistol round is definitely a way to do that, because that CT economy is so much harder to build just due to the weapons costing more and having to buy defuse kits. And the people are like, oh, 400, not a lot, but that's 2 flashbangs. That's a smoke. Like, that's a lot. That's a good bit of utility you could have if you didn't have to get that defuse kit. Now, BTRG just taking this bomb down through secret in towards the lower bomb site. Did hear the vent pop, so they're going to be aware of that. Oh, the Rate. Okay. Nice little headshot there through the control window. Annihilation. Tamir! As I was just saying about being it hard to build the economy on CT side, they just absolutely roll over everything that BTRG are running at them with. shuffling the guns around, and it's Zygen left in the 1 versus 5 with a MAC-10 and a Dream, and he's going to lose it very quickly to Annihilation's Deagle. What an eco coming out from D13.
I'm actually quite surprised by that happening, but now D13, they've traded it back. BTRG, they're going to be forcing up into this round. They don't want to let D13 take this away. They know that they need to stay in this to avoid any sort of trampling happen. And BTRG, they're just going to rush out onto the A site. Tamir and Score getting 3 kills total. Ziggin is the last player left alive with his PZ in hand. Does get taken down, and D13 round number 2 of map number 2. And BTRG with 1 map lead. D13 have a lot of work cut out for them right now.
Looking to cut more into this economy is that AWP that Annihilation has bought. Could be taking it over towards outside. Might get the early information here onto Execute, but just falling off as well right as Execute starts moving up. It is just going to be slow play here for BTRG.
There's not too much BTRG are going to be doing or looking to do in this round. So a little bit of damage, a little bit of information on the style of play that D13 are bringing into this matchup. So these pistols, it's a little bit of really information game just for the rest of this matchup, and Rate will be able to get the first kill. Does split out the second player, knows there's somebody there, will be peeking around the corner, gets the kill onto Eeyore, and now XCC gets taken down as well. Ziggin and Impression, last 2 players left alive. Ziggin gets the first kill. Can he do any more though? Does close the door behind him. Impression with a burst fire Glock gets a kill. Ziggin gets taken down, and now it's up to Impression to try and do something. He does get spotted out. Will be taken down by Rate. And that is round number 3.
Did he just take down an AWP with a Galil long range?
Yes, yes he did. The AWP missed the first shot, and then he killed the AWP and got taken down.
Very well. Very interesting. Not something you see too often, but Galil, kind of an underrated weapon, even with the recent buffs it got. People still not trying to utilize it to spray through the wall. Zygen doing so much damage to Tamir, though. There's no way they can know that.
It's really just a waiting game for both of these teams at the moment. Somebody needs to make a move, and it is going to be BTRG. They do lose 1 player, but they get a trade back quite quickly. Now it's down to the 4v4. A run boost going to happen over the garage door, but there's nobody really going to be there to have to deal with that. Just Annihilation there with the AWP. Oh, Eeyore does peek out, deletes Annihilation. Ziggin gets a kill of his own. Rate and Score, last 2 players for the CT side. Score does take down Loser. He spots out Rate, but that is his teammate. He's distracted a little bit by him. And now Eeyore from right behind Rate turns around, does get that kill quite easily, and BTRG round number 2, keeping it close.
AWP shot looked like it scared him a little. Scared him a little bit. Not quite sure of the exact position, and then all of a sudden hearing that ring out right beside your head, it's got to be a little bit jarring.
Just slightly. It's one of those things, you don't know who's there, what's happening, and if you a slight bit of miscommunication, you think your teammate's there, you're dead.
Exactly. And plus just the sheer amount of volume that an AWP shot puts out. As the smokes come out.
The AWP shot was extremely close to taking down Loser. I heard it land next to his head. Tamir pushing through a smoke will take Impression down from behind. They're not going to let that garage push happen again. Loser pushes up. Ooh, barely able to take down Score. Dropping down to 5 HP. Score whiffing that hard. And now they almost have control over the B site. They just have to take down Rate and they would be able to plant here.
Rate playing this absolute perfect. And oh my god, through the edge of the smoke. You love to see it. Especially if you're a D13 fan coming into this, seeing them in the man advantage. Does look like they've given up a bit of control over on the A side. Shinobi, actually, though, still sitting right above these vents, ready for anything that decides to pop up, but they're coming out through secret. And it looks like he could start to have an idea, start to check his corner a little wider than he has been as he now tucks back in. Let's have the alt support coming in heaven. He's going to go ahead and spray them both down, picking himself up a quick 2 there at the end. Picking up a 4th round for D13. Been a fairly quiet, fairly standard game so far. You see rounds going both ways, kind of all over the place, but standing out really is Tamir, 124 ADR so far. Absolutely phenomenal. And the spray down, not go to connect.
Connects, but not enough, and XCC will get a kill with that Deagle. Not able to take down Annihilation as well. Tamir right here does get a double spray down. 4 kills for him in this round, and D13 cleaning it up quite easily.
He picked up the hat trick, turned around, and put a feather in it to give D13 their 5th round. And so far, if we continue to see this trend, it's going to be one more round possibly for D13 and then 1 round for BTRG. That's so far been how things have worked out.
It really has been, and it's one of those games where it's staying quite close, but D13, they really need these rounds that they're getting right now, and it's starting to look good. Compared to last map where it wasn't too convincing or too amazing, it is starting to look quite good for them. And these nades, I feel like they actually missed the smoke there. They're going through Annex, 2 players get sprayed down by Score. Tamir gets a kill of his own. Shinobi chiming in as well. And Annihilation with a headshot through the wall, taking down XCC, or through the edge of the container there, I should say.
Yeah, spotted out his gun barrel. Wasn't quite sure if he could hit the shot. Took it anyways. Took him down, and it's a nice shot coming out from him. And now we see BTRG and an Eco team damage, knifing each other. Probably accidental, you know, people like to swing their knives around at the beginning of a round.
You know how mad people get about that?
Very. I would get mad if I got stabbed.
I'd
also get mad if I get 1-digged by Eeyore when I have an AWP in my hands.
Yep. That is something else that would absolutely annoy you. But there's not much you can do about it now once you've been taken out. Score down there. We'll be able to spot out one player. Oh, Eeyore with the orb. If Score stands up. Oh no, Score is able to push out and get 2 kills. Eeyore should not have let that happen. He had the AWP, he had the line, he just didn't take the shot.
Did not, and it was just a beautiful play there from Score. That's all you can really say about that. Perfect crosshair placement, perfect trigger discipline to figure out where those players are peeking from. It was just well played coming out from Score, and now see a potential for reset coming out here for BTRG. They do have that high loss bonus still, actually, so maybe not. Maybe I should think and look at things before I speak more.
Yeah, usually helps when you think before speaking, but it's not always a requirement. And Tamir does lose his head to Loser. Loser spots out Annihilation, but Impression takes that kill instead. And now it's up to Score. Oh, he gets tagged by the Molotov. Does I know that he's sitting there in Annex is really close. Ray actually able to take down Eeyore, and he has an idea that there's a player above him. He's going to be very, very careful looking out for that.
Just missing the timing there as well. This could end up very interesting here, as now Loser going to need to peek out, getting taken down, bringing it back to the 3 versus 3. And just full sending here over towards Rate. His head ripped off by Impression in that spray down. Little bit of a messy situation that D13 have found themselves in now.
Now it's really up to score here. He's got that 2K last round. He does clean up Impression. And well, now it's Ziggin takes down Score. Shinobi, last player left alive. He has 2 players to find and deal with. Takes down the first player, isn't able to take down the second.
And we are starting to see D13 kind of start running away with the CT half. But BTRG not giving up, putting their all into this half, putting all of their economy into this round as well. As it could be a rough time coming out for them. And still a decent buy. We do have that auto shotgun on Rate over towards Ramp, and he's going to be pushing up very close with it. Might be able to find one here through the edge of the smoke onto Eeyore. And not quite, as everybody kind of falls back off that situation. Just kind of baiting out any kind of utility they can. Keeping these terrorists at bay with the idea of this inner push, and through the smoke a lot of damage actually there onto XCC. And here it is, the auto shotgun. Rate only good for 1 before he does eventually get traded out. And Annihilation grabbing 1 for himself as well on that AWP, putting it into the 4 versus 3. The swing out. I love the way that D13 are playing off of each other on this CT side. They're playing in positions where very rarely do you see situations like what Score just had, where one person is versing 2. They're able to just rotate, boom, trade. Even if there's no kill, they're able to trade the damage and eventually get the kill because they are just positioning themselves so well that they can just kind of poke. 2 people poking does usually end up in the kill.
What if there's 2 people poking a bear? What's that end up in?
Depends on what they're poking with.
Fair enough.
Because if they're poking them with a feather, it might just... Bear probably won't even feel it, in all honesty. But if they're poking them with, I don't know, and a very large stick, he might feel it, might get annoyed.
I'd get annoyed if somebody was poking me with a stick. I'd probably get annoyed if somebody was poking me with a feather, to be honest.
I can respect that.
But, right now, not... Sorry, I bumped my mic. Right now, not too much happening. A little bit of utility going up. BTRG wanting to collapse on this A side again. Score's spotted out, but he's not able to get taken down just yet. Yes, he is. Jameer's getting taken down, but there's still 2 more players up here on the A side. And Annihilation, and I believe
Impression.
Shinobi.
Oh, Impression's gonna play the trigger disc. Oh,
what? No. That is so unfortunate.
Oh my goodness, that should have been an easy kill for Impression, but instead Annihilation flipping around, landing that no-scope, and giving D13 yet another advantage here coming into the end of the first half. It's a broken, not too broken, but a little bit low on utility here, but already the smoke's out towards Secret to try and get this bomb down to the B bomb site.
I just saw a smoking land down and it's through the vents. I'm not sure if that was a missed smoke or if that was on purpose. Oh, to me, through smoke. He had no information that was there. He just decided to random spray gets one kill, able to get a second one before getting taken down. Loser is dropped slightly on HP, but there is 2 players from the CT side over at this B side already. The CT side have been extremely good at having the players here on the sites that need it as quickly as it happens.
Definitely. And what I was saying earlier about the positioning and how these CTs are playing off of each other is very crucial in this round, where they have, you saw Tamir get the 1 kill and then able to fall back, let his teammate play off him, and the score ends up getting one of his own. Tamir getting yet another to give the man advantage to D13, as Loser just now grabbing the bomb, and Rate, hearing all of the information, knows exactly what's happening. And Rate?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Spamming it.
The door opened and Rate just didn't care about the door being opened. He was looking elsewhere, and Loser coming out, able to take down Rate. I feel like he should have paid a little bit more attention when that door first opened, and Loser's able to get that first kill, and Annihilation almost gets taken down to 13 HP.
Oh.
And so close and so devastating for Loser just to drop him to 13 and not be able to hit that final crucial shot to bring BTRG up to the 4th round. D13, they're running away with it right now.
They are not just running, they are full sprinting at this point. And it looks like we're getting a tactical timeout after this round. I apologize, hiccups came out of nowhere.
Those spooky hiccups, they appear and then they disappear just as quickly. But yeah, BTRG, they want to go with tactical timeout, but it was called slightly too late, so they have to play this round out first. And unfortunately for them, this is probably going to be their last rifle round in this half if they don't take this round right here.
It definitely will be, at least with as much utility as they have at this point. They could still potentially get rifles and some basic armor going out into the next round, but not too much. They are just on that $3,400 loss bonus and already looking poised to take this round away from BTRG. D13 opening things up in the air with that first kill, but Zygen Loser, or Impression getting killed, Loser killing Zygen. You know, I'd probably shoot my teammate in the back of the head too. But that's because I'm a silver and I'm bad at the game. That's why I yell at pixels and not shoot at them.
That's fair enough. I understand that pain, but there's not really too much you can do at the moment in CS other than yell and scream at pixels, and
there's not too much you can do if you're Loser getting naded from long range as well. It's going to be D13 picking up their 11th. No defuse kit either, but plenty of time. And what a half coming out here for D13. They have a
surprising half too.
They have 4 players over 10 kills. All of their players putting up more numbers right this moment than the side of BTRG. But Tamir, currently 135 ADR, with 60% of those, his kills being headshots.
That's not bad.
Pretty good. He's having himself a map. One thing of note, though, as well, on the BTRG side, is the 14 flashes coming out from Impression. So they're starting to use their utility very effectively, but just not enough to give them the rounds.
Yeah, they've got the utility usage. It's just not 100%, and it looks like BTRG didn't actually take that tactical timeout that they called for. They did end up cancelling it once it was too late, so they are going to be playing for round number 4 with very little utility and trying to get this done.
And playing off each other like Eeyore and Loser just did, exactly how you need to be able to do that. Positioning. I've said it 1,000 times this map, and I'll keep saying it until it stops being effective. Just getting
When
your
will it ever
players.
stop being effective?
When people play Valorant. Hey-oh!
Oh, that game's a joke. But look at BTRG. They're making a joke out of D13 right now, pushing into the B site and taking full control with very, very little contention.
Yep, they just got those couple of key kills outside and made their way down secret very fast, and now a difficult retake. B bomb site notoriously hard to retake. Still not as bad as B site does too. And Rate? What a spray transfer coming from him. And now this is back into 2 vs 2, making the 1 vs 2 1v1, and Impression closing it out. Still an 11-4 half, but Impression and Rate in that round, seeing those plays, those spray downs. Wow. That was definitely something to be noted, and I wish we could have replays of some of that, but sadly we do have technical limitations currently. By technical, I mean our producer's brain is small.
What happened?
Oh, I'm just being mean.
Oh, fair
Not
enough.
to you. Being mean to our lovely producer.
Sorry, I didn't hear if he had said anything. I literally just stopped listening to him about 2 hours ago, so that's alright. But D13 rushing onto the A site, already taking full control, and the bomb is out there as well, so they're going to be able to plant that bomb, take control of the site, and Impression looks like he's lining up for a pop flash for this retake. They do have a kit in hand, so they have a little bit of time to play with, but they need to get their players in faster. They're all running around like headless chickens at the moment. EO loser getting up into heaven, pop flash going out, and now it is going to be a push back onto the A site for the CT side. They do get 1 kill, but it is traded back immediately. EO almost losing his head. Loser gets 1 kill, but he is taken, actually not quite taken down. Now he's taken down. Ziggin, last player left alive, sitting up in heaven, drops to the side, does have a kit, but there's not enough time to get both kills and the defuse. He does lose his head as well. And there is round number 12 for the side of D13.
And a very important one there for BTRG, and it looks like we are, as predicted, seeing the opposite of what we saw a few days ago in this, or earlier. I don't know exactly when that game was played, to be honest. I kind of just looked at the stats page, and I'm like, yep, I see results and numbers.
It was played on the 1st of September, so yesterday, my dude.
Okay, very well. I mean, for me, it's 5 o'clock in the morning on the 2nd, so.
Well, fair enough. It's, I don't know what time it is anymore. It's like 10, yeah, it's 10 o'clock on the 2nd, so.
Yep. I am
Slight bit of time
somehow. I mean, yeah, just a little time difference. Not too much to be concerned over. What is concerning, though, is
Why you're still awake.
BTRG's inability to get back into this game. They've given up 12 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it is now their CT side, and they did have a very dominating showing on their CT side last time these two teams came together. The EO rushing into the A site will be able to get 1 kill, but he doesn't get the AK in his hand in time to be able to do anything else, and his teammate XCC goes down.
Hamir
goes down as well through the smoke, and Impression, last player left alive. Not really much he can do here.
I feel like I have said Tamir's name quite a few times, and that's actually the team ace coming out from D13. Every player taking down another player in the server. And now we see Shinobi finally hitting double digits in this map. Definitely not having a bad game, though. He's still positive. His team's still winning, and at the end of the day, that's what matters, is the team score, not the individual here in Counter-Strike. Nobody cares about if you drop 50 kills in a game.
Yes,
if
yes,
you
people
lose.
do.
I mean, yeah, it's still if you drop 50 in regulation, you're a god. That's all there is to that.
It's honestly so heartbreaking when you drop 50 kills and your team just can't do anything and you still lose. It is honestly the worst feeling in the world, and if that ever happens in Pro League, I guarantee it's happened probably once or twice. Having that happen in a Pro League game would be horrific.
Yeah, I've seen 50 kills pulled out a couple times, but it was in games with like triple, quadruple, even more overtimes than I can count on one hand. So, but when you're playing that much Counter-Strike, it's expected that you can drop a large number of kills.
Oh, absolutely. Score last player left alive, not able to take down Eeyore. And, well, round number 5 on the board for BTRG. Is this a sign of well, I'm not going to say the word. Is this a
CB?
sign?
That good old Charlie Bravo.
Yeah. Is this a sign of what we need to happen, or is this something else, my dude?
Or is it a fluke? We could see right here, and it is the eco round, so it could be BTRG. As I start talking.
Yeah, it's called the Caster's Curse, my dude. I don't know how often you've experienced it, but XCC.
I wouldn't know. I'm an observer.
Oh, that's a real feels bad for you, man. It's a real feels bad. Though I understand the pain. I'm a Rainbow Six observer.
Whoo! One of them
Yeah.
real observer types.
Yeah. But, well, you look at this, and you got Score with the Deagle. Oh, he misses the headshot. He's able to clean it up, though. Loser unable to get the M4 shots onto him. And D13, they've made, well, some real work happen here against BTRG. 2 weapons traded over to their hands. Score with this Deagle. Will be able to take down Impression as well. That's another gun dropped. And Ziggin, last player left alive, he gets his feet tapped by that Molotov, and they know exactly where he is. He is going to retreat with his tail between his legs, heading over towards the T-spawn or the ramp. He is going towards T-spawn. He wants to save his M4. There's literally no reason that he should not be saving this M4. And, well, his team is broke.
Very, very broke, as they are on that $1,900 loss bonus. Going here into what can potentially put D13 on map point and will take us over to map 3. It's not a good situation here for BTRG. They absolutely need to do something.
Look at Tamir.
They need a miracle.
Look at Tamir running straight into the crosshair of Ziggin. Ziggin's not ready for it, Tamir!
Oh, God, the one thing that can save you in this game. Oh,
he thought he was safe. He heard the footsteps, and I feel like he thought that it was far enough towards the time that he wouldn't be found or wouldn't be shot. And, well, he was found, and he was shot, and he's down. He didn't even react when he came around the corner. He was running, so he should have heard those footsteps, and it just never happened. And that is Impression. Ripping heads off already, again. And Shinobi tagging Ziggin. I don't know what's happening anymore. Ziggin, are you going to push that smoke? Hey, Ziggin, don't do it.
No,
don't do it. That's dangerous. He did it. He did. I told him it was dangerous. He still did it.
Well, you didn't tell him quick enough. You got to be quicker on telling people things like that. Kind of like how now D13 wasting no time getting onto this A bomb site. They haven't yet cleared up. Score.
You see them heads, you got to take them heads, man. You got to get no time to react.
In the round. I feel like he's hit multiple 4Ks. No, that was his first one. We have so many players, though, that have put up multi-frag rounds. Both all Rate, Tamir, and Score having themselves a 4K so far in this map, and closest contender is 4 players on the side of BTRG putting up 3Ks, so definitely the gun game favoring D13 thus far, and as I say that, Impression able to find one, and now this round currently man advantage and bomb for BTRG.
But it is one of those situations where BTRG has an extreme advantage, but Score, look at him, he's sneaking around. If Eeyore doesn't turn around, Score isn't going to play any trigger discipline. He's just going to rip the head straight off of Eeyore. And Annihilation sitting in a corner. The CT side, they're not waiting for anything. Ziggin, that could have been extremely dangerous if Annihilation didn't get taken down just then and take the attention away from Terra's player sitting there. I don't actually remember who that was. But Score, the last player left alive, has to get this bomb back. He does have a grenade in his hand, and yes, as I expected, he's going to throw that down. Do a lot of damage, but he isn't going to be able to get that kill. XCC didn't stop holding down that trigger, keeps that spray going, and well, when Score pops his head back in, well, he was thrown backwards with a barrage of M4 bullets.
Yes, that barrage of lead is definitely not, it's not healthy. So I've been told by quite a few doctors that having a barrage of lead forcibly entered into your body is, it's not the healthiest thing.
I wouldn't expect so. I mean, anything forcibly entered into your body that is a barrage of, well, anything, I doubt is going to be good to you. I mean, nobody likes a barrage of dust in the wind, you know? That's not good for you either.
I mean, at the end of the day, all we are is dust in the wind.
Ouch. That's some melodramatic stuff right there. An impression.
It was actually... Sorry, go for it.
How was an impression allowed to survive your son? Sorry, excuse me. But he is alive in D13. They've hit round number 15 and sort of hit a wall right now.
They have definitely hit the wall. And they're trying to claw their way back out of it. XCC down here just playing his part. Ready for any aggression here through Secret, but it does look like they want to make their way over towards this A-bomb site. Shinobi being very methodical, clearing everything out. Heard where that flashbang came from. But Zygen, two very fast headshots there.
That is nasty. And XCC will be able to take down Annihilation as well. Perfect crosshair placement. And BTRG, here we go. With a couple of rounds on the board, keeping D13 off of map point. And D13, their economy's not looking all that great. But they did actually bring one AK into this round on Score. And you know, he's going to be trying to get something done here. We'll see if that is possible. Right now, there is a boost coming out into the ladder room. Oh, not ladder room. We're not on train anymore. What am I talking about? The ramp room.
Sorry, we all get confused sometimes. Especially because we spent so long in train waiting for the server issues to get resolved that it's just kind of ingrained in our head at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm concerned about BTRG here, whether they're going to get a little bit aggressive because they have heard the pistols chiming out, the Deagles and Glocks, but there was an AK in hands, but that AK didn't really do anything, and that flashbang did even less than the AK's done so far, other than, well, hit walls. And D13...
Which is about what the AK did as well.
Yeah, well, they both did the exact same thing, just hit some walls. Neither of them touched the player, I don't think. And Impression just chilling here, making sure they can't leave towards the A site. Ziggin making sure they don't walk onto the A site from the other side, and Loser making sure they don't sneak around onto the B site somehow. So they are on the B site. Loser's very close. Bottom plant's going to try and go down. Oh, he opened the door too soon. Does get the first kill. Shinobi drops his head. He is going to want to close that door before he goes for the plant, but he did hear Ziggin up close, so he's going to go for this peek. Does lose his head, gets taken down, and well, that is round number 8 for BTRG.
What a crucial one for them. Obviously, every round very important, but especially that economical win with D13 just trying to build their economy. To try and shut that down, they still are able to buy into this round, though, and this could potentially be where we see this map 2 go in favor of D13. We've seen what they can do in these buy rounds. We've seen how deadly they can be, but that nade taking down scored 80 points of health, and the gunfight finally going the way of Impression. a little bit sloppy, but ended up making it work.
Well, they're sloppy but working. That's really how a lot of this match has gone for both teams so far. Rate making a lot of noise going up the ladder. Is about to drop off Pop Flash into the site to help his team out, and that is going to be an explosive push onto the A site. And it looks like the CT side is ready for it. They've actually had a player rotate back towards Heaven. They're going up now. Shinobi with that first peek. Flash comes out right behind it. Loser has a lot to do here. Does get one, does get second. Not able to do the third. Shinobi here, Impression getting 2 kills. Takes down Shinobi. And BTRG not letting D13 get round number 15. It's almost like a common occurrence with CS teams on any level. You hit round 15 and you forget how to play the game.
I mean, I hit round 1 and forget how to play the game.
You open the game and you forget what you're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And then I just press a lot of buttons and yell at pixels.
Something happens.
Because I'm mad. Yeah, and somehow I still enjoy the game.
Yep, fair enough. I click some buttons and things happen. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's about R6 as well. I mean, that's observer life in general. We just press buttons and yell at the screen when things don't work right.
I haven't done R6 observing in a while, but it was good fun. I fell asleep a couple times on stream. It was.
I have done
not
that
good times.
more times than I am willing to admit because I don't know who exactly is watching this. Could be some of my previous or current soon-to-be employers, and not the information I should probably divulge. I
did it in probably front of 1,000 people, and nobody could get a hold of me. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had been up since 6 a.m. the previous day. I was not. It was the second day in a row of being up to 4 a.m. after waking up at 6 or something like that. My brain didn't know how to function anymore. It just shut down.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just one of those things.
Speaking of shutdowns, BTRG just controlling this round, left, right, and center. It was the eco buy coming out for D13, but just a simple anti-eco, and now Annihilation could have position here.
They don't expect him to be coming from behind. I mean, Loser's kind of watching that, but from a really passive angle. Annihilation, if he gets any room to play with here, which he does not, Loser takes him down, and BTRG round number 10.
Our producer is yelling in our ear that we could almost be done, but doesn't realize there's still a map 3 to come after this should D13 take it.
It could potentially go to map number 3, and that is what the viewers would love to see. People.
I mean, I would love to see it. I'll just show up to work late. I really don't care. Because I like
you like
Counter-Strike.
pixels.
Yep, I like Counter-Strike a lot. It does magical things. Makes me happy.
I'm concerned. I feel like you should be banned from CS after saying things like that.
I've said much worse things, and I'm still not banned. No, I'm not okay.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, XCC with the first kill of the round. Oh, he's able to get the second on the fullback. Is he able to get the third as well? He's got stuck on the wall, just like the words got stuck in my mouth. We're unable to get around the corner, but he does get the third kill before being taken out and score. Shinobi, last 2 players left alive for the side of D13, and it's a 2v4. They need to make something work right now. Otherwise, they're going back to their 3,400 loss bonus that hasn't really been getting them anywhere for the past few rounds.
It really hasn't. This kind of this second half of this T side for them has been quite rough, and there's just another example.
I'm not
and
sure
BTRG.
what Score was doing there, but he took absolutely zero care in the world, sprinting down the hallways. I understand that his teammate is further up ahead, but you could expect somebody to be in the vent or, anywhere else that his teammate's not. He's still just beeline sprinting. D13, they might just be getting a little bit tilted right now.
I would be too. I would definitely have a little bit of tilt factor going on right now. Trying to mitigate that is not the easiest thing to do, especially because I believe the prize pool for this is quite substantial. First place in USD, $29,000. That is a very substantial prize.
If I had 29,000 USD, man, that's like 50k AUD, if not more, and I would do some things with that money.
I would be building a few new PCs, and then
Yeah, I'd do one of them. I might try and invest a little bit, make some more money off it, and then have some parties.
yeah, I would definitely get some things to just like treat myself immediately.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
like,
You have to.
give yourself a real nice meal at a nice restaurant, sit down. Well, maybe if COVID allows. Just like,
If Jeebus allows.
yes.
But
But what's not being allowed is this hold.
Oh no, for BTRG.
BTRG.
Oh no. It's down to XCC, the last player left alive. The bomb is... It actually looks like it's down. It is down. XCC has control over it, but he doesn't actually know that. Smokes goes down towards the B site, and XCC is making a lot of noise. He's heading up towards A. Doesn't realize that he's coming back towards B, and he gets thrown in the back by Annihilation, and that is map number 2 going to D13.
Oh, yes. And our producer is crying in our ears right now. And wow,
now,
what a match.
Ow!
Tamir had 162 ADR that game, by the way.
This man, he's doing some work.
And on the side, Score as well, 27 kills for himself. Absolutely phenomenal. 23 kills on Impression, just unable to close out that map there for BTRG to take a clean 2-0 victory. So, very shortly, hopefully shortly, we are going to be heading over to Dust 2. Now, I'm excited about Dust 2. I have some feelings about Dust 2 being map 3. Is it really
Dust 2?
It is really Dust 2. I have some very strong feelings about this. Because Dust 2, the quintessential Counter-Strike map, everybody knows it. Not everybody loves it. Some people are just sick of it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit on the side of sick of it.
I can definitely see why. There's times where like I see Dust 2 a lot back to back and I'm just like, I'm done with it today.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Dust 2 in about 5-6 days in what I've been working. So I'm excited to jump into it.
Fair enough. But, I mean, I'm actually completely over Mirage at this point. I've played it way too much recently, and it's just... Mirage is the new Dust 2 at this point. Literally every single game you play is Mirage or Mirage or Mirage. There's no Dust 2, there's nothing else. It's just Mirage, and it's driving me absolutely mental.
I mean, that's about how I feel with Inferno, because typically I work in that tier 2, tier 3 scene where that is one of the powerhouse maps for every team. And it just, you see so much Inferno around here that it's mind-boggling. How can these players still play it? It does look like I have my e-girlfriend back here on stream with me. But we are going to go ahead and swap the server over. We're getting into Dust 2. And hopefully we're going to see some awesome action coming out here. I want to see some crazy outplays down mid. I want to see some long range one taps, some long range one digs. And I just want to see some good Counter Strike. I love me some good Counter Strike. I think our producer's trying to tell me something.
I think he's saying let's go to a quick break while we go to the next matchup or the next match, and we will return momentarily. So we'll see you all soon.
Faces that I'll never know. I keep dancing, but it's just for show. Whoa. Look up at the sky full of stars. Close my eyes, I always see the dark. Tell myself I wanna seize the night. Alright. And we walk this road together. And I still feel like I'm alone. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here, Capping TV. We got the WDEMD Asia Invitational 2020. We're here in the grand finals. D13, BTRG. We're going into map 3, Dust 2. We saw a fantastic map series thus far. Both upsets, not what we expected, because the last time these two teams matched up, it went the complete opposite way. They stole each other's map picks so far in this series of map 1 and 2. And we're here on Dust 2, where boys are made into men. Steel is forged with fire here on Dust 2. As much as steel can be forged in a video game, you know, it is what it is. There are some limitations, obviously, to that due to it being a video game and such. And I'm excited to jump into this. We're still in warm-up, waiting on everybody to connect, waiting on everybody to just rocket this map. Going back over some of these stats over on Nuke, though. Score coming out with a 1.47 rating. Definitely a powerhouse on that server. 97 ADR, 27 kills, 16 of those being headshots and 16 deaths. Absolutely phenomenal map coming out from him. An impression over on the side of BTRG, getting himself 23 kills with 21 deaths, pulling himself to a 1.17 rating, below 3 of the players of D13 that was score rating to mirror with a 1.47, 1.27, 1.23 respectively. And just a great map there coming out for D13, as they did end up taking it 16-11. That was BTRG's map pick once again. And going back to the beginning of the night broadcast, I don't even know what it is anymore. Time is weird. We had D13 picking train where they beat BTRG the last time these two teams faced off, 16-4 or 5, I believe. But this time, BTRG turning it around and winning out 16-6, putting up 10 rounds in their CT side on train. And Zygen on that map with a 1.9 rating, going 27-9, 114 ADR. Dude was cracked that map. Like, that's all you can say about that. But coming out, looking at Dust 2, they haven't really played it much either way. But currently, in the past 3 months, D13 67% win rate. They have played it 3 times. So they won 2 of those. And I believe those 2 wins, not quite seeing them off the top of my head. But it's going to be a good map. It's going to be a good fight here between these two teams. Currently, my co-caster is AFK.
Apparently, I didn't get the memo that we went back live again. I was busy elsewhere at the time. No, I wasn't actually. I was keeping an eye on the Go TV for ready when we went closer to live, and I didn't expect to be live already with not 10 players in the server. We do have 10 players in the server now. Last one's just joined momentarily, so we could be going live.
I kind of talked about what we saw last map. Kind of gave a recap, a little bit of a prediction. And what's your prediction for this map? What do you think is about to happen?
I have no idea. BTRG, I believe I said, had an actual record on this matchup. On this map, where the other team of D13 did not. I'm just double checking.
Other way.
No, D13 had the record. So we could see D13 taking it out. Yeah, I mean, I could see it going really either way. I don't really have any predictions. I mean, Dust 2 is just a fundamental CS map, and anybody can play it well or anybody can play it badly. It's just really a matter of your mindset at the moment. And D13, they might be on a little bit of tilt, and Score just changed his name to Magician.
Doesn't look like it actually updated over in our sidebars, though, so we should be good. Might not mess up terribly. Okay, here's one difference I noticed between NACS and other regions. When NA does a knife round on Dust 2, everybody goes to mid.
I mean, isn't that where you're supposed to go? You're meant to go to mid?
I've always seen other regions go out towards long doors.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's almost like a regional thing. I don't know.
Potentially. I mean, I feel like mid, you've got a slight terrorist advantage because they've got the catwalk that they can go up on, whereas the CTs, it's a little bit harder for them to get up there.
Fair.
So it could just be an even playing field sort of thing, rather than, I don't know, just a ease of access thing.
What is this smoke from right? Can we catch that real quick? I want to see what this ends up going to.
It looks like it could be going mid to B.
Is that going to CT? That is a CT smoke. What a smoke coming out from him. I love that. And they're just going to push straight up catwalk as well. Now this A bomb site being contested as well, but Loser getting his face ripped off. Now the bomb plant gets stopped. Impression giving them a chance, getting himself a second as well.
Can he get the third? That's the real question.
Yes, he can. He's gonna get that hat trick, and it does look like once again we're having some packet loss issues here on the server.
Just a little bit, but it looks like we are still going ahead rather than having a technical timeout, and nobody's actually crossing over before that smoke goes down, which is interesting, as that smoke was thrown from CT mid rather than CT spawn.
Yeah, a bit of some interesting play coming out here in round 2. The single aggression, no flashbang out towards long. The smoke there towards middle, it's a little confusing to say the least to watch. But some of that could be by design. I'm not in their team speak. I don't know what they're saying to each other. It's going to be the full deco though coming out for D13. Already one of them dropped out of action as Score was taken down early on in the round by Impression. And over here towards mid doors, Tamir gonna be able to pick that first one up and recover the MP9. And now mid control fully gifted over to D13. Impression though, still looking for that crossover towards mid. One player over on the B bomb site and just the SMG in his hand as well. It does look like this A bomb take is coming in very rapidly now. And the decoy actually not quite putting anybody off their game just yet. Is now Shinobi able to find one, but gets traded back by Impression as he's going to pick up a second long range MP9 through the smoke. That's the very edge of it. Now 2 versus 2 retake coming out here. BTRG needing to find this round, but Tamir taking yet another in the round for himself. He's on a hat trick. They started this with just deagles.
Does take the time to reload. He's going to be pushing in, but there's 2 players right next to him. He doesn't really have the time or the space to work with. He does get taken down by Rate, and D13 bringing it 1-1.
Off the back of deagles. That's all they had at the beginning of that round. And I don't want to say that was a full buy coming out from BTRG, but it was a very substantial investment. Because look at them now. Scouts, deagles, they're looking to tag them and bag them, and tag them they will as Annihilation taken down to 34 HP very early on. Gonna swap his gun over, just kind of running gun probably with that MP9, and great. What a flick coming out from him. Impression! The deagles have been on fire this series, and you absolutely love to see it. And good lord. Some action over towards long doors as well as Loser taken down to 51 HP. Impression once again. Deagle working towards mid is Shinobi opening up this B side nearly. Does now open it up wide open. It's loser left in the 1 versus 4, but all of these plays very low HP. The highest they have is 60.
Loser could do something with this Deagle. I mean, the Eagles can hit 60 in one shot.
He's got more HP than 3 of them combined.
Yeah. So we'll see if he wants to do anything, but at this point, it feels like he's just going to sit there and potentially play for the exits. Is not moving.
He is not. Hopefully, he's not the one with the packet loss issues, and he's just lagged out currently.
I believe he actually is having. He does usually have packet loss issues. He has been complaining about it, but he hasn't moved a muscle.
Has not even touched it. Oh, wait, no, he crouched. He's moving. We have life. So in his actual POV, he has his deagle out. I believe the knife out in third person was just a possible Go TV bug. But looking at him in first person POV. Maybe we can get some Twitch tours going on if our observer has them ready. T-toys in the chat, please. Oh gosh. 10 out of 10.
Oh, producers. I love them. I really don't.
It is almost 11. Meanwhile, I'm having my morning coffee over here in NA. It is 5:47 in the morning. So I hope everybody's enjoying the stream. If you're not, well, okay. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I'm sure there's better things to watch than us waffle faces.
I mean, there's always something better to watch than what you're currently watching. Most likely, unless it is the 2018 Boston Major when FaZe Clan blew a 15-11 lead to give Cloud9 NA's first and only so far major victory.
Fair enough. I mean, Cloud9 for the win, but I'm waiting for that Aussie major win. You know.
Honestly, there are some teams that actually could be very poised to take a major win for the AU. Like we've seen. Oh my God, you see a nice spray down. Could have gotten a few more, but now it is Annihilation here, possibly shutting more things down as he only gets 2 for himself as well. Impression. Going to be able to hold on to this AK for at least a little while. Don't know if he's going to get very far with it.
Oh, no, he's sprinting up towards A and Score's already here. He is falling back into the pit. That's smart. He needs to stay there. Score. Oh, he's eyeing right in the center of the pit. Right where Impression is standing. Score knows exactly where he is, and they're going to be hunting all 3 of them.
I just want to see Shinobi yeet the nade in. They don't need to be peeking.
They are peeking, and he doesn't even yeet the nade. I mean, he could have gone for it, but he didn't. But they still do take the win, take the rounds, take the kill, and D13.
Okay, hold up. We are in round 5. Impression already has 10 kills and 238 ADR.
Yep.
Okay, is drug testing a thing in this tournament? Because this man is cracked.
I am actually disappointed in you. I am usually the one who makes the puns, and you have made one, and it was actually very disappointing.
You know what?
My producer's laughing at me making jokes. Bring Jeff back. Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
No, you're a bad human.
Yes. No, I'm not.
You're a bad human.
But pushing up on the smoke. Zajan! Ah! Only good
he
for
could have
one.
done so much more. It's so unfortunate, but that Molotov goes down, holds them back, but he knows that all 4 players are still there from the side of D13, and, well, Mr. 1 XCC down in CT hasn't heard or seen them leave from short. Impression is going to push up, gets the second kill through the smoke, spraying back at those traces, gets the third kill, pulls out the USP and clips the head of Annihilation. Boom, boom, boom.
Man is on 14 kills and 5 rounds of Counter-Strike. Good lord. He's got 3 3Ks and a 4K. I just want to watch nothing but him. If you're looking at this to try and become a better player and you're going to be grabbing this demo, check out Impression. He has definitely been a powerhouse in this map. And it has paid off as... Actually, not quite paid off as they are still down a round. But has definitely helped his team win those 2 rounds. Nice little smoke there coming out from Tamir. Here we go, Eeyore. Traded out. Score opening up with 2 big kills. Makes that a third now.
Score's been doing really, really good for the side of D13. And this does get picked up by Rate. I feel like he wanted to shoot Score in the back of the head there, the way that his mouse stretched towards him. But Luther screwing up that spray so badly, giving Score the opening he needs to get his 4th kill in this round. And Ziggin gets 1 kill, gets the 2nd kill, and now it's down to Rate. He does get that kill with that AWP and Annihilation. Rate surviving through to the next round, and the economy for both teams is kind of yuck.
Yeah, economy definitely has a lot of room for improvement for both sides, really, at this point. Nobody really able to keep, like, a high amount of players alive, so they're having to buy a lot of weapons into every round. And then, you know, it helps that if you actually win rounds.
It helps a hell of a lot if you can actually win some rounds. But Loser up on the A site, throwing out some deagle shots, not able to clean some stuff up. Score takes him down with that AWP he saved from the CT side last round, which is coming back to bite them. And they didn't really do anything for the CT side either in last round, so it's a little bit of a sadness to see that. But Shinobi, a beautiful headshot over onto XCC. Impression gets taken down. Eeyore gets taken down by Shinobi in another headshot. And Ziggin sitting here in the corner. Shinobi's ready for him, but doesn't actually get the kill. Ziggin pushes out and lets Shinobi's aim not go straight to his head, which was a nice change.
Yes, and a welcome change as well, as this is kind of what I was talking about. You see every player having to spend money on that T side now to refresh their armor that got absolutely shredded by those pistols. Even though they have the round, they still do not have full control of the economy, and nobody really does at this point. It's these alts battling in mid that are the story right now, and this hit, nobody's looking at the tunnels.
They're both
as
flashed.
The hit came out.
I'm pretty sure they were both flashed at the time. They were both turning away from the flashbangs, and they 2 flash assists came out just then. So the CT side were sort of in a really, really bad position. Both
the
players
AWP I did see already looking towards middle. So, you know, trying to hold that down, make sure it's not a B split. That I understand, but that's perfectly executed there by D13 to open up that B bomb site. And the coach now from BTRG calling for a pause, so it's going to be yet another hangout here for us.
It's going to be for a tactical pause. We touched on it earlier with the tactical pauses, whether the teams would be allowed to talk, but do you think online matches the coach is allowed to talk? They're not allowed to talk unless it's a timeout on LANs, but it would be the same thing as policing tactical timeouts for the policing coach talking.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be. You would need a referee or admin sitting in their server, because a lot of times what I've seen in online events, they don't mandate what server you use for your internal communications. And a lot of them just don't even bother with the coach communication role. Unless it is like a qualifier for a major or something. At that point, they will start looking into that kind of stuff. But for like these one-offs, a lot of times they just let the coaches talk. They let these teams have that almost sixth man in the server.
No, it is a literal sixth man in the server, but it's not in the game helping them. The mental ability and the mental changes that the coach can bring to the team. You know, just the ability to, if they've got that synergy with the teammates, to be able to calm them down and bring them back into the game if they're starting to tilt is a huge responsibility for the coach, and it can't be done in the 30-second timeouts that you normally see taken by most teams in professional tournaments, or even if they take those timeouts, which 90% of the time they don't, when they really
which I don't get why. I like it. When I was coaching, I was taking timeouts pretty much any time. If we lost more than 3 rounds in a row and we have 4 timeouts in the whole game, yeah, we're going to breathe. I would always have my players take a step back, assess the situation, and see what they can do to maybe pick something up. Even if it's, hey, we're just going to do a little bit more economical damage. Like, that's the kind of stuff I would discuss with my team. I'm not trying to flip a game when we're down 7-2 and sweep it down to a 16-7. I would get them on the small victories that would improve their mindset to get to that overall win. That was just my philosophy, though, and different coaches could do it differently, and without knowing the coaches and the... Jesus, that nade. Doing almost a lot of damage. Love it.
70 damage total.
Yeah, I'm bad at math.
Quick maths, man.
NA math.
You got to do some quick maths. But Tamir getting a headshot onto Loser, able to get a kill onto Ziggin as well. Impression with the trade back on that orb. He's actually able to get around the corner. Does get that kill onto Score. Gets a third kill on the Ray, and Tamir will trade it back, but he does have to deal with XCC sitting around this corner. He does get smoked off. There's actually a secondary smoke coming up from the CT side to give a little bit of room to play with to make these terrorists scared. Just sort of push through that, but Tamir's still going to keep going. He's not going to be held off too badly by that. XCC, he uses that smoke, that time delay, to rotate up short, and Eeyore's coming in through behind.
That's exactly what I wanted to mention with Eeyore's position. Oh, he's been spotted! It's down to the 1 versus 2. It's Annihilation, AWP in hand, not the ideal weapon to be taking a bomb site with, especially in a 1v2 situation.
Not the ideal weapon to be taking the bomb site with, but these angles that he has to play with on Dust 2, the short and the long angle, he has the room to play with the AWP, but unfortunately, Eeyore is able to hit his head and take him down before he can even react and realize that he was shooting him inside.
Yeah, it just turns around long enough to see that final nail go into the coffin and give BTRG their 3rd round now. Is still... They're getting rounds, but they still don't have control, but they do have XCC boosted over smoke with that AWP.
That was the bomb that they spotted to get downed as well, so it's a little bit of information, but it's not really going to help them as it was still in spawn. And Rate pushes through. The smoke was held in the hand, ready to be thrown back into the bedroom. And unfortunately for Tamir, he was taken out. Rate gonna eat a nade, or potentially could have, but he did fall back just in time. And it looks like D13 wants to head up towards his A site once again. Another short push.
They're really favoring this play towards short and impression, favoring taking the heads off of these T-sided players currently. And favoring getting himself another in the play here in mid. Rate grabbing 2. He's going to need 2 more. He's going to have to get the ace and the clutch here. And I apologize for that. It is my alarm telling me to wake up for work. Sergeant! You can't just jump down and kill a man like that. Like, come on. That's just mean. What in tarnation is going on in this server now?
Upsetty spaghetti.
Aren't we all? It is just a hero AK coming out here for D13 though. And one smoke on the shoulders of Tamir, and it looks like he does have it in hand. It's going to be that mid to B smoke we saw earlier. And oh, the pistol rush coming through works for Shinobi. Pistols are working out for them as now the man advantage. Sergeant pushing out late into mid. Only good for one, and Tamir able to trade that back, and he's going to hightail it over to the A-bomb site. Knows where this last player is. Loser, you're not supposed to hit those. Tamir does hit those, though. And that's the eco win coming out for D13. And now heading into round 13. The full buy coming out again for D13 off that win. And it's the eco now for BTRG coming out. As now scoring rate opening things up. One more possibly going the way. Shinobi closing it out as D13 taking 9 rounds on their T side here on Dust 2.
You don't see 9 rounds on the T side too often, you know. Most teams, they prefer the CT side on majority of maps, and Dust 2 is not that uncommon for most teams. I don't actually remember who won the knife round, to be honest. So I can't tell you who chose which side.
I do believe it was D13 that took the knife round, if I remember correctly.
Well then,
I
D13...
could be completely wrong.
Oh,
Look at killed your boy.
He killed his teammate through a smoke. He just sprayed straight into the back of his teammate. I was wondering how that guy lost so much health when he wasn't around any CTs, and that Molotov bounced into oblivion, unfortunately, for Terra's side.
Now, the retake of Dust 2's B-bomb site. Notoriously difficult. As actually able to get one back for themselves, and one player right behind this
really
AWP.
Awkward spot right here.
XCC coming in. Got to take him down. It's BTRG got to be able to pick up their 5th here in the first half as we headed to the last round. Some stellar performances already, especially coming out from Impression. 20 kills to his name. He's dropped down just to 133 ADR. Something a little more human, but still impressive nonetheless, as out of those 20 kills, 55% of them headshots. Dude's having a good game, to say the least.
It's always nice when you see that 55% or, you know, 60-70% headshot rating on your own games.
Oh, definitely.
You just feel good about yourself knowing that you're hitting shots, but you can always feel too confident, and that starts costing you heavily.
Definitely. But now taking a bit slower of an approach, D13 looking to grab another advantage here towards middle. But it's going to be XCC to open it up with that AWP. Ripping off the head of Tamir. Now, man event rate also getting taken down at top mid through that smoke.
Alright, that was a good kill, but D13 now pushing up short. Molotov in behind them close just to make sure nobody rushes behind. Impressions here ready for this play. And CT, there's still 5 players left alive, so D13, they need to be fast, they need to be careful. Excuse me, careful. And Annihilation gets taken down. That's the bomb. Shinobi has to do something insane here, and unfortunately for him, he can't. BTRG gets round number 6, and that's off.
And what a half it was. Once again, noting Impression's performance so far. Phenomenal. Closest player to him is Zygen, who's still putting up impressive numbers. 110 ADR and 16 flashes effective for him. Impressive. Gotta love it. That's what you love seeing. We are jumping straight into the second half, it looks like, with BTRG poised up on their T side now. And it's going to be a good bit of utility now for the T side. And it looks like we might see that full-on A play coming out for the Terrorists. 3 players stacked over here for D13 towards long. The flashbangs are out. And slowly but surely making their way out these long doors. It's just damage going rate down very low. Just 5 HP left as Eeyore finally puts the final nail. Score full blind. Go to get one back finally in the favor. And off of this, they are just going to get this full smoke set up here. And it looked like Score. Yep, he did just block one of these smokes, but playing off the edge of it, not going to quite do too much as Shinobi opening one back. Onto Zygen, that player over towards middle. Flashbang out at long, not going to be effective enough. As all over this bomb site are these BTRG players. As Tamir able to land one nice little headshot there onto XCC and Impression pulling one back. Tamir brings it back to the one-on-one. He's got himself 2. Both players looking for the hat trick. As now battling for this A bomb site is Eeyore and Tamir. Who's going to be able to pull it off, though, is it's going to be Tamir. Bomb did not get planted. And that's going to be D13 putting up double digits in the game.
The D13 round number 10 on the board, and well, they need to hold strong here. BTRG down to just an eco round. And D13 full weaponry, well not full, but strong weaponry to come up against these pistols. Looks like BTRG, they want to play short again. They've played short most rounds this half, and it hasn't really worked out too strong for them. I mean, they have got quite a lot of damage and kills happening here. Annihilation does have that scout on his back, so he has to really play with the pistol. He's still up towards this A site. It's still very close. Bomb plant does go down. He gets traded out. XCC, last player left alive on the side. And gets taken down. And Tamir gets the defuse. Round number 11 on the board.
But the economy still not in the best state here for D13. They have won every round so far on their CT side, but just not able to control this economy thus far, and it could come back to haunt them now. As the full buy coming out, a lot of damage. The nade going at the pit, just taking Eeyore a little bit of damage down on him. And we see these players poised towards long. Once again, looking at this A-bomb site. Smoke getting lined up to get Shinobi a lot of information here into tunnels, but don't know if he's quite ready for Zygen outside.
Back. If Zigging gets this kill here, if he pushes in, I don't know if he spotted Shinobi out. If he did, he's actually, I'm pretty sure he did. He's right behind Shinobi here. If he gets this kill, that could pull some players away from the A site.
Oh,
and you look at Shinobi's right here. He's not ready for it. Ziggin's just standing there looking at the back of his head. He turns around and Zygen gets that kill immediately and rushes into the B site. Now it's on the side of D13 to get over there quickly. That smoke goes extremely deep. Score's already here. He's ready for this, but he needs to do some work, some damage. His teammates aren't really close enough to do anything, and well, neither is he.
kind of hard to be close enough to help out when you're 6 feet under. And it's looking like BTRG poised to take their 7th now. As Rate trying to fall back with this AWP he has picked up. He's going to hang out here towards the back of long T-spawn area. Potentially waiting for one of these players to actually come towards mid. But Zygen's coming in behind him.
Making a lot of noise though. So he's going to be found out. Ready for it. He does get that shot. That's the first kill. Can he survive though? I don't think he knows that Losers is here. He's going to jump around the corner, lose his head. And well, BTRG round number 7. Keeping it relatively close, but not too close.
As I stated at the beginning of last round, this economy has come back to bite D13, as we could definitely see an alt tag through the door. Okay. You love seeing that, and possibly even more there as Annihilation takes some damage. He does have that scout in his hand. And the fast play coming from Cat, well, it gets absolutely punished. Annihilation punished as well. 2 pistols here holding down this mid door, and the scout trying to get some damage in, but not quite able to connect. As bomb making its way onto the A site in the hands of XCC. Nobody looking at this A bomb site really at all for D13. They are just on the Tagman Bagman build right now. The upgraded pistols and the Molotov taking one down. And Eeyore just waiting for this last one. Going to land the headshot, going to secure the round. And that's going to be 8 rounds for BTRG as we head here into round 20. Still control of the economy for them as well. D13 unable to really make anything viable as far as a purchase.
Yeah, D13, they need to save this round and try to get as much damage as they can to stop the economy from BTRG running away. And well, right, he's pushing up here on short once again. Last time he did this, he got his head absolutely demolished. Impression gets killed down mid, gets a second one on the right. There he goes, he's losing his head once again. Annihilation's creeping up, but Impression's ready for it. Peeks the corner, takes him down, removes his head. And well, it's 9-11. D13 with a slight lead. They have the weapons now. Annihilation's going to bring out the AWP, but he doesn't have a helmet. That's not too big of a deal. He's against AKs anyway.
Exactly. Choosing to not go with that head armor is kind of a moot point. You're against a full terrorist buy and that nade. 26 points of damage. Eeyore though.
Annihilation gets taken down, and well, BTRG, they're already planting on the A site. There's not really much D13 can do here, and if I was them, I'd be going for a save. I wouldn't be wasting any of this economy that I had, or any of this weaponry. You know, one player gets taken down, that's a huge loss for them. But Samir is still pushing into the A site, does get another kill. They could actually make this work here. I'd be extremely surprised to see that happen. Loser in this corner, it does get a second kill, and now it's just up to score. It does get taken down as well, and as I said, if I was them, I would have been saving right there.
Yeah, they were in no position to be trying to retake that side. They do still have the round lead, still have a lot to play, a lot of Counter-Strike to play. And that's just going to hurt them.
It's a 5v4 retake onto the A site when they're not even really close to the site, you know. There was pretty much a sneaky plant. The T's didn't go all the way into the site. They still held the outer extremities and so didn't give up any space for D13 to walk back into it. And it wasn't the smartest move, but it's the move they chose to make. And well, Loser, he's taken down one head. See if he can pop Annihilation as well. Last player left alive. He's going to run back up to the A site, out into the open. Do a little bit of damage up to Ziggin. I mean, a little bit. He's down to 3 HP. Unable to clean it out, and it is down to a tied game now. And D13, well, as soon as their economy got broke, they sort of, I feel like they spent a little bit too much money in those earlier rounds where they could have saved a little bit more to have some more utility. I mean, Annihilation is only got a smoke to go behind that orb. Impression is walking out, flashing himself out. He's able to get the kill right through the smoke. He knew Impression was there. He just was too late on being able to get the kill. He does get a second kill of his own though, but it is immediately traded back. Why is there nobody pushing through a smoke? You're pushing through a smoke. I don't understand, but you do you, my dude. Annihilation gets another kill back, and now it's down to a 2v2, and BTRG, I would say they have the advantage here. They have the element of surprise, in which D13 do not, and they really have to 1-1 split, or which they are doing, or stack a site, and the rotation times are not too forgiving on Dust 2.
Not forgiving in the slightest, and Tamir giving the info that he is over towards this B site, but then going off towards middle.
I feel like they are thinking about the rotation times, so they're both headed towards the middle. So whichever site gets played onto, Tamir, I think he did spot the player jumping across. Yep, here it is. They are both rushing over towards the site. Tamir needs to wait for his teammate. He can't go in by himself. Annihilation is there. Will spot Ziggin. Takes him down, and Eeyore gets dropped as well by Tamir pushing into the site. So perfectly coordinated. If Tamir pushed in slightly earlier, that could have been disastrous getting spotted or taken down there. But his teammate coming in from behind, able to cover his rear end and give D13 round number 12. Can they hit 13, or can the side of BTRG tie it up once again?
Only time will tell here as solo over towards long. Zygen not able to spot anything out. There's no players there to challenge it.
This is different. D13, 3 players sitting up on the A site rather than 2 players pushing down long. So they've actually changed to a passive hold. It's a nice change from last round where they had the players go down long and they pretty much just got taken out. It was sort of a waste of talent down there.
Without a doubt. Anytime you just commit people to just hold, push one thing, it's just kind of like, well, I mean, you could have used them in 1,000 other places. But you chose that.
Yeah, it's sort of, long is sort of a one and done position most of the time, which is why a lot of teams put 2 players down there, but it's really 2 or 3 and you're done. But it's still so easy for the T side to just come back into it, especially on a side like DOS 2, especially up short. And BTRG have really, really been favoring the short side of the map. You look at score, he's sitting right here on the edge of the smoke. He is going to get found by Loser, and it's not a very smart play to be pushing that. I mean, every time the smokes go down like that, there is usually 3 or 4 players on the other side of it. There it is, once again, BTRG pushing up short, cleaning the A site so convincingly and so easily, just like if one of, those street sweepers, the ones that clean the leaves out of the gutters, just rolling on through, cleaning up all the trash.
Ah, yes. But it is going to be Tamir trying his darndest to hang on to this M4. Absolutely abysmal economical situation here for D13, so anything they can hold on to. And at this point, he needs to get out of CT, because after that damage, this bomb blast and Zygen on his backside could be deadly, but Impression glocking him down in the face.
Yep, and it is going to be a tied game once again.
This has evolved into a very nice matchup of Counter-Strike here on Dust 2. We are on map 3 here of WDNMD Grand Finals. This is the Asia Invitational. Lots of aggression here over towards the B tunnels, but Zygen opening things up now at long as well, with Tamir possibly getting a little overzealous with only the CZ to work with. These players just going very aggressive on this CT side. could be absolutely punished here by Eeyore. He spotted one, spotted two. He's only going to get two before he is traded out. AK recovered, but Impression here, ready, willing, getting the first, grabbing the second as well, and that's BTRG taking the lead back in their favor. I believe that's the first time since the half that they've had the full lead. Since after the second round in the second half, it has been very close back and forth, but BTRG now able to claw it back fully in their favor, and the economy just been in their control as well, as we see Zygen on 16K, 3 other players above 10,000, and Eeyore at 7,500 is still a very strong economy. It's just going to be what needs to be around for D13 if they hope to stay in this match. And with 2 players committed over here long, it is just Annihilation. AWP, though, to hold off this A push, should it come this way.
It looks like it's going to come this way once again, and Annihilation, he needs to do some work here. He needs to make this happen because his teammates are down on long, and they're not close enough to really do anything here. They are going to be preoccupied by Ziggin if he does decide to go that way, which he does not look like it. He is going to at the moment. They are all going to go up short. Rate still down on long. Score has come up to the A site. Now it's down to this 2v5 hold. There is 2 kills for Annihilation through the edge of the smoke. Score with a kill of his own. And now it's down to a 2v5 situation for the T side rather than the CT side this time around. Rate getting another kill of his own, and XCC, last player left alive, gets taken down, and BTRG, after taking the lead for the first time in this matchup, loses that lead to another tied situation with D13.
Yet again, but still full control of the economy. Like I mentioned, BTRG having no issue buying up into this round, and even the next round they're going to be perfectly fine. Maybe 1 gun needing to be dropped over, but even then it's only to kind of keep the economy even versus having to buy a teammate. And just a lot of pressure here over towards B for BTRG. It is just the AWP on Shinobi currently to hold off this B hit. But sitting at the back of Plat, it can work some magic without a doubt. We've seen it before, and no doubt we will see it 1,000 times again here. Dust 2, back Plat, AWP. Magic.
Yeah, you can only hope that D13 can hold this again. They do have the 2 players, the exact same setup as last time, except the bomb is over towards the B site. And if this B site player doesn't stay here, well, he does spot a player over on the B site. It is going to be a B split this time. And, well, there's only 1 player left. Shinobi does get taken down. And, well, that looks like it should be round over and in the favor of BTRG. But D13, they look like they want to go for this.
At this point, they need everything they can get, every advantage, because they need to stop this economy of BTRG, and they have to stop it now. If they cannot take this, it is nearly game over.
Yeah, easy. I feel like the economy's set for BTRG for the rest of this game. Impression stands up, 1 taps Rate. Score is afraid to push down. He's just waiting for that run tap to come out from Impression again. Stands up, takes 1 shot, will fall back. And Annihilation taking the AWPs away from BTRG, trying to keep that out of their hands. Trying to keep one in his own hands, though. He does hear Ziggin. Ziggin doesn't check that properly. He does get taken down, and the AWP is allowed to survive through to the next round.
And yeah, it is starting to look like BTRG running away quite a bit with the rest of this map, as they're sitting on 14. They just need 2 more, and they have a very, very powerful economy. Not even just strong at this point. That economy is absolutely terrifying. And if you're D13, you know what's going on right now.
I wish
you know the kind of power and control they have.
I wish I had the money that these boys do, but unfortunately we don't. And well, Annihilation, neither does he.
He will need to go absolutely massive in every round from here on out if they hope to even bring this back into overtime, because at this point, I don't think they can straight up play for the win now. They're going to have to play for overtime.
I feel like that's what they've been playing for half of the game since BTRG have made this comeback. D13,
Oh,
they look
XCC!
so strong.
Just
Gets
goes
that kill.
bunny hopping through a smoke. What is going on here?
But you look at it, there's still 3 players here for the CT side. Eeyore is able to get 1, but he's still so low. There's no ammo in his gun either. He has to fall back and reload, and that's extremely dangerous in the position that he's in. This bomb is on Eeyore's back. He can't even escape. They are very committed to this A site right now. And Eeyore, he's going to try and fall back just a little bit, get a little bit of a peek. Gets dropped, and Zigan will fall just after him. Annihilation taking him down, bringing it back to a 14-14. BTRG, they can't get more than 1 round ahead before it gets tied back up. And, it's round number 29. Which
We're going to 30 rounds of Counter-Strike on Dust 2 in map 3.
Going to 30 rounds. We will see if we go to 36.
It has been
we can
back
only
and
hope.
forth.
Oh, that nade! Oh, Tamir, he was throwing a nade of his own. That nade that the terrorist threw came so close to taking him down. He chipped him for 3 damage. He's already on 8, and nobody's really been seen this map. This round. Apologies, not map. Many people have been seeing this map. There's been plenty of kills going either way. But this round, nobody has been really seen or spotted out. Most damage has been done through walls of smokes made so far. The score, the first player spotted, first kill for the CT side. And he mollies himself a little bit. His gun spotted out. XCC gets 2 kills through the mid double doors. And it looks like it is going to be another hit towards this B site, potentially a split again. But Rate coming in through to top mid, rotates out of long, does get the first kill onto the guy with the AWP, which was XCC. Impression down on short. He will be able to find the head of Rate, and that's the A site opened up, but it still looks like they're pushing into the B site. They are, and Ziggin will be able to take the head off Shinobi. BTRG can they finally win their 2nd round in a row after taking the lead off of D13 to win this match and win this series.
It is BTRG calling that tactical timeout as well, so they're just trying to kind of shake out the nerves. They're ready to win this. They're ready to take this home. They're pulling out the auto sniper. They're pulling out the auto sniper. This is the greatest thing I've seen all night. Oh, my lord. Impression is going to take that auto sniper and just spam down mid. If he doesn't get 2 kills, I want to see this. I want to see this magic happen. They've got 3. They've got 3 auto snipers. BTRG are in full BM right now. And it's looking like Loser is just going to sprint towards that B bomb site. Oh, lordy. What is about to happen here? It is Shenanigans Impression with 1. Swapping out for the AK. And actually, Loser not going to B? I would have thought he would have taken that early aggression and just hightailed it over to B, but he's just waiting for a push there. Waiting for anything to come through those B tunnels. As that was already a great start to the round. Anytime you get to see auto sniper spam down middle, it's a good time.
Absolutely it is. You don't see it too often, and well, when the economy is there to do it, it's fun times.
May as well break out the memes and have some fun with it. It is a video game after all. Tamir, though, needs to hold this off. Needs to get at least 2 here, and they haven't cleared him.
I don't think he's
He's
played
got
from
1.
here before. They weren't really expecting it, but he does manage to survive just a little bit. That flashbang goes out. He's able to fall back. Still unable to recover that AK though, so he is stuck on the MP9, and well, BTRG will fall back. There's the AK recovered.
There are just 30 seconds left in the round, and hightailing it up catwalk. Annihilation to hold it off from the ramp. Is this the final stand of D13? Are we going to overtime, or can BTRG
We
pull this
are
out?
going to overtime. I'm calling it now because Annihilation sitting there with the AWP. They are not going to be able to get close enough to this site. There's
No, they will
12
not.
seconds left in this round. They need to get the
Impressive,
storm
though.
plant down now. They're planting now. They have it.
And it
One
is
player left alive.
going
Score.
to be
That's it. That's game.
BTRG, though, clutching it out there in the final seconds, 16-14, taking the series 2-1 here against D13. Congratulations to your champions of the WDNMD Asia Invitational 2020.
That's a mouthful.
That is. BTRG, congratulations. Well played matches there. Going back through some of the shenanigans that happened in this series and throughout this whole tournament that we've seen, you know, we saw earlier in this upper bracket, BTRG once again taking down D13 2-1. But that was a much different story than what we saw tonight. Tonight we saw the upsets of both these teams on their map pick to start off with. We saw BTRG, or we saw D13 pick Train and get absolutely wiped 16-6. We then saw BTRG pick Nuke, where they got beat 16-11. And then the decider dusts to a quintessential map, goes to 30 rounds, and BTRG end up closing it out 16-14 in the final 15 seconds of that map. And what a map it was. Looking at some of the stats on that map alone. Impression, 36 kills, 120 ADR. 37 maybe. It could have been actually more. HLTV is still trying to catch up. Please. 38 kills for him.
Apologies
39.
for you guys, but my black cat just ran outside and it's dark. And it just came back
Almost
inside.
dropping the 40 bomb for his team with 130 ADR. Nobody on the side of D13 even coming close to that kind of performance. And absolutely phenomenal coming from him, from his team as well. Excurate. Looking at this entire series, though, really the best we got right now is... Can HLTV update properly? Like, come on. Come on. I'm trying to do things.
It takes a little bit, but
Alright.
apologies for randomly disappearing. I have a black cat. It's dark and it's an indoor cat. It ran outside, so I had to make sure that it didn't leave. But yeah, it has been an intense 3 maps tonight. Aside from all the technical difficulties during the first map, so D13 taking out. Wait, it was D13, wasn't it? No, BTRG.
Taking what?
Sorry. Taking the match. BTRG, as we somewhat expected them to be able to take it out. Though, personally, I thought it would be a more one-sided battle.
I expected a close match, especially after seeing that 2-1 yesterday in their first matchup. But with names like Zygen and Excurate on your team, you're kind of favored in this. You have those players that have that big league experience. They've played in the majors. And wow. Impression in this series, 78-51, 103 ADR overall. Pulled himself out with a 1.44 rating. And top performers on the side of D13, they did not play bad at all. One thing I will say, very worthy of note for D13. Their highest fragger, 57 kills. Their lowest, 51. Highest rating, 1.03. Lowest, 0.93. Very consistent team as far as working together. Their ability to position themselves to play off each other was absolutely incredible to watch, especially on that Nuke map, where you just see one guy start shooting to get the terrorists' attention on their CT side, and then somebody else swinging out from another angle, double peeking like that, is what won them Nuke, and I would love to see them in the future start working that like that on other maps such as Dust 2, which they did put up a fantastic fight, but it was a lot of the 1v1 aim duels that they started to suffer in there towards the end, which eventually gave BTRG that phenomenal victory for themselves.
Yep, absolutely. And well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for tonight. It was an exciting matchup between these two teams, and unfortunately, it has all come to an end. So we will have to close out here and see you guys in the next stream. I'm not sure when we'll be live again, but if you have enjoyed our cast tonight, follow CappingTV on Twitter and Twitch. We do tweet, and you get the notifications on Twitch when we do go live. Follow myself and Flippy.
Flappy?
Yeah, you're
Wow.
Flappy, man. Yeah, it's got a little bit of chin flap, just flapping around there in the wind. But yeah, no, follow us on Twitter if you have enjoyed, and we will see you next time.
Have a fantastic night, and once again, congratulations, BTRG.
Bye-bye.